All right, everybody. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Subscribe. Notification bell. All videos. If you haven't done that, then unsubscribe, then hit subscribe, and then hit the notification bell in all videos. I know it's difficult, but I have faith in you. Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
It's the house!
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Did you hear what I said?
You know, that's just one step above stupid. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
It's the house!
Hey, look at that. I retreaded the old paranormal days to the gray zone. Alright. Oh, you like that? I'm not sure why there's trees in my house, but other than that, it's awesome. Yeah, maybe I'm looking out a window. We don't know. Who the hell knows? All right. Yeah, I think what we'll do is when we do the call-ins, you know, when we have people calling in. Man, yeah. So I've been communicating with Chris Proudfoot, and man, I don't see anything, you guys. Sorry to disappoint you. I've just been communicating with him. He seems like, I mean, I don't, the thing is who knows what kind of bond he might have had with his son. Maybe it wasn't great, right? But he's, I don't know. I think if any of you were communicating with him and you got the same answers, you'd feel exactly the same way. That's all I can say. We talked for 26 minutes yesterday, and so I'm sorry if you're somebody out there that just knows that they have something to do with it. I can tell you this: if Chris Proudfoot has anything to do with physically the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, I will be personally shocked. Okay, I mean, we've learned to not, but I would just be dumbfounded. That would be just absolutely amazing to me. All right? Yeah, it wasn't a noise. It was a thud. She lied, yeah. So it's Proudfoot's bad, Seth good. All right? That's the story. And, like, I don't know if, I haven't spoken to the mother, but I don't think she did either. That last thing that she put out was absolutely reasonable and exactly what somebody would type in. Okay? I think what's more interesting, you might say, is that whenever Sebastian would go over to his biological father's house, he would have access to the internet, and there was no control over that whatsoever, and who knows who he might have met there. Who knows? Yeah, it's still not his fault either, because there's online predators out there. But I absolutely, I can't say anything for sure because I'm not them. I'm not in their heads, but I do not see anything. I don't see the stuff that I heard, the same stuff you guys have heard. I haven't seen every single interview with, Proudfoots, but I'm sure there's some that are different than others because they're more angry one night and another night they're a little bit more subdued, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's nothing in there that's like glaring information that anybody would go, oh my God, they did it. Nothing. And if you're saying that, you're not telling the truth. Just having a little variance here or not saying something there, something isn't the same as over there, it just doesn't mean a damn thing. Especially when you have 10 different interviews out there. And by the way, who's getting us started tonight? We're at 0 right out of the gate again. Okay. Normally there's somebody, with the encouragement. All right. So on this channel, like we always say, every single night we try to raise funds to help support the channel because there is no ad revenue on these shows. But I also give away a ton of it. It's kind of like the bulk effect. I don't know if you guys want to do something tonight where if we reach a certain goal, I send in the exact same amount to something like, Texas EquiSearch. We haven't given to them for a while. What do you say? Anybody into that? Like we did a few times last month? What do you guys think? Is it doable tonight? Hey, look at that. There's Linda D's. So what do you think? How about this? If we get to, let's see, 500, I'll send in 500 to Texas EquiSearch, even though it's 30% goes to YouTube. All right, so I'm losing $150, but maybe we haven't given to them in a while. We're on day 6. Feels good to start giving early. Wow, look at that. Golenvern gifted 10 memberships. Very cool, very cool. All right, so whatever you're doing tonight, dollar for dollar goes to Texas EquiSearch. Up if we get to 500. If not, it just goes back into the pool. And we'll give to them at the end of the month. Freak for life. All right, Phil. I remember you for some reason. So do most of you feel the way I do now a little bit? I mean, if I have been able to at least open your eyes that there is probably a really good chance that the Proudfoots have nothing to do with physically removing him. Now, if he ran away because he didn't like the way he was being treated, like any kid runs away. People run away from homes when it's just too strict for them and they don't like it. Oh, did you, Phil? I don't remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, where are we at? We're at, I gotta wait for these to come in. 24, 25, 26, 31. I'm trying to set up the Streamlabs goal thing. Oh 04, 08, 2024. All right, there we go. No, wait, no, actually I gotta end that. I gotta do that again. Starting amount, what were we at right now? It doesn't say it correctly. There it is, 33. Actually, I'll make that, I'll add in the 50 from Golenvern there. So it'll be 83. And there we go. All right. Very cool, very cool. Oh, I guess there's more now. Well, I think that might have got in time. I guess we'll see. Thank you, Phil and Kubi. I thought he met up with someone online from day one. Yeah, I mean, that's what it seemed like. I mean, there's stuff that you go, wow, that's crazy, Like, how do we know that he ever made it even home from... But you know that law enforcement has looked into all this. See, a lot of times we ask questions that we know that they know. They would have already known the answer to the question. They have way better information than we have. So it's not like we're suddenly like, oh my God, have they checked their cell phones? How do we know? Well, they know all that stuff. They have every bit of it. They've looked at the cell phones, where they were, the phone calls that came in. They know exactly when the Proudfoots were on the phone talking to each other. Maybe they talk for a total of in a 3-hour period of time, but maybe not the whole 3 hours. I mean, everybody's just assuming that they were on the phone the entire time, and then at one time, well, Gray, that's because that's what they said. Yeah, so what's cool is, I don't know, it's interesting because we've learned, at least I have, I think a lot of the freaks have too, that over time you've seen those cases where the parents are just absolutely destroyed in the media and they turn out to have nothing to do with anything. And because of that, you know, you sort of learn to just look at things a little differently. I mean, there's literally people driving over to where the Proudfoots are and taking pictures of them as they walk into the trailer they're staying in. And no, everybody, they're not selling the home. Or at least not now. They own it. You know, he's got to make money to pay the mortgage on it. You know why? Because all of you clowns out there that are accusing them over and over and over have built up so much hate towards them that they wouldn't, even if they created a GoFundMe, they wouldn't get a nickel. They wouldn't get a nickel. And even if you support them, you can't donate to them because your name's on there. And you'd be like a pariah and attacked too. That's how disgusting everything is, man. It sucks. Wow, so there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4 more members way later. Must have come on later. Weird. Here, I'm gonna go over here really quick and grab this one thing from over here. Oh, there they are. They're sitting right there. The gray zone. All right, we'll just put the goal over here because this will be for. Not sure what we're at on that, but that's where we're at. So we're gonna send in. Normally we do, you know, like during the month, sometimes I send money into various charities. So tonight will be one where, you know, if we get to 500, I'll send in 500 to Texas EquiSearch. I'm going to be eating the 30% that YouTube takes. Okay, so that's the goal for tonight, and so you can say that your dollar is going directly to that tonight. Normally, it's just part of the pool for the end of the month or during the month where I donate money to various charities, and it'll help support my channel too. All right. So anyways, the Caleb Harris case is crazy also. It just got really weird. It got really strange. You guys know the Caleb Harris case, right? It's not really a cave, it's trees. Thanks, Kami. Right. Well, see, the Caleb Harris case, now, apparently he had an online Reddit account. I guess that's redundant. He had a Reddit account where he was sort of on this, like a sexual website. It almost had a feeling like it's Tinder almost, you know, like a Tinder, you know, hey, let's, you know, let's private message each other, etc. But one time he even mentions like meeting the person right there next to his house, and that was on the 4th, which was, you know, March 4th, and he went missing on the 8th. I know, but man, you know, is that why he was out late like that one night? Because some of the messages he puts on there are late in the evening. So is that why he was out? I mean, I don't know. I can't 100% verify that account is his, but it absolutely seems like it is because it's right in the right area, and other people seem to have found it. And you know, what are you talking about, psychics? I don't get it. Thank you, Agatha Misty. Not Agatha Christie, but Agatha Misty. And then there were none. Veruca Salt. Why is Mr. Hughes in the fog? Because I'm always in the fog. Veruca Salt. Why don't you get back to sitting on that scale with the golden egg? All right? Why is he in the fog? What? Ridiculous. Gooses, geeses. Thank you all for supporting the channel, though, through likes, subs, shares, and super chats. Do what you can with what you have. Thank you, Georgina Stoliker. Yeah, I've got an actual wall as the background. Then there's the 3D trees here, and then a fog. It's like, dude, how's it going, dude? Like, totally. Man, I figured it out. I figured it out, dude. If you're nice to people, they'll be nice back. Okay. Hey, thanks, Mama 457 Rose in the gray zone. Yeah. It's just floating around in the room right here. Yeah. Oh, is that what that is? Is it? I think this is one right here. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Heather N. Does seem like he wouldn't get far along. But don't you think that's pretty wild, you guys? Is that right here? Wait, hold on. Right here, Caleb Harris, so you can't see it. Right there, Caleb Harris. Lives in these cottages right here. Took a photograph right there. But in the message, he actually, let's see, so this is right here, this bay, this whole thing here, Oso Bay, and then it's like Oso Bay wetlands. Right here, this is where he was meeting, like he put a message out on there to meet somebody here just 4 nights before. I don't know, man. I think now there might be a possibility that this is connected to that Reddit. Now, you guys remember the other night when we were talking about Telegram and how people on there would have people send pictures, and those girls, you know, weren't as anonymous as some of these Reddit names are. But what if somebody figured out his name at some point and then said something to the effect of, you know, hey, you know, I know who you are, I'll send these pictures to so-and-so, and maybe that made him do something to himself, or they had him meet them somewhere and then something happened to him. I don't know. It's just, it absolutely opens the door for, and it's not crazy either. It's not like, don't look into that. They're online, they're trying to tell people not to look at it. And it has nothing to do with finding him, but I think it could absolutely have something to do, because multiple accounts, Zozo was noticing, and I saw a couple myself, multiple accounts have disappeared that he was communicating with. Now, I'd imagine that some people, or posts, you know, like the post was removed. So I would imagine that, you know, some people posting these things might want to remove them anyways, but it is interesting, nevertheless, I think. Did he not also not have shoes on? I don't know. Yeah, he didn't have shoes on. Yeah. I was thinking of something. Wasn't really paying attention to what you were saying. Yeah, so this is the on Reddit here, Outside Physics 1635. And look at right here. When you hover over this is him, Oso Bay hiking trail, like where to meet, you know, or something. And look at right there. It's March 4th, 2024 at 12:15 a.m. So that means it's really late at night, already into on the 4th, which, you know, it's sort of similar to him being out and about doing stuff. I mean, that was at 3-ish. It's Reddit. Reddit's also known for that kind of stuff. I mean, some of the channels they're on are absolutely sexual, you know, people showing pictures of their private parts, and, you know, even on some, sometimes he's commenting on guys' pictures and girls, etc., you know. So I don't know what's going on, but it really seems like if it's true that this is his account, it seems like it very well could be his account. You know, but he's like, look how many times he says stuff like, well, I guess if we go to comments like that, like, that's so hot, you know, or DM me, DM me, DM me, DM me. So that means you're going to start having private messages with some of these people, right? All right, you guys, we have the goal set up there for tonight. And if you get to 500, I'll send 500 in to Texas EquiSearch. That's what our goal is. We are currently at 112.58. Not too bad. Not too bad of a start. Yeah, maybe he had a hidden life, and maybe he got threatened by somebody on there to come forward. And also, who was that Snapchat picture to now? The one at 3:12, something like that. A Buttercup 203. Yeah. So let's see what it says. This is kind of a newer article in the Independent. Thanks, Michelle H. Police are still searching for missing Texas student Caleb Harris 1 month on. Here's what we know. The Texas A&M Corpus Christi student vanished without a trace from his off-campus apartment a month. So keep in mind all the stuff we just talked about. And while we're reading this, okay, keep in mind that has this other community that he's just commenting, and it's a little bit like Tinder-y, but, you know, social media. And once you get stuff out there like that on social media, then there's a whole lot of stuff that can go wrong. Thank you, my little cutie, Michelle H. and Wise Child. So let's just go over this again. The Texas A&M Corpus Christi student vanished without a trace from his off-campus apartment a month ago in the foggy early morning hours of March 4th. Now a month has passed. Detectives are continuing to investigate the disappearance of 21-year-old Caleb Harris, who left his keys and wallet in his apartment and an Uber Eats order he requested outside his front door. So you kind of wonder what came into his phone. So I was saying that the other day. Why did he go out again? He walked the dog. He brings the dog back inside. Why did he go back out again? Thank you, Buttercup 203. Right, maybe he sent that Snapchat to somebody else. Deborah, that's what I was getting at there. Yeah, so it says, now a month has passed. Detectives are continuing to investigate the disappearance of 21-year-old Caleb Harris, who left his keys and wallet in his apartment and an Uber Eats order he requested outside his front door. In the hours leading up to the disappearance, everything seemed normal. He was hanging out with friends, playing video games, playing with his roommate's girlfriend's new puppy, and ordering snacks for his lunch that day. His family said he had made plans with friends, spoke with family often, and had even signed on to a lease for an apartment next year. Yet the student is currently nowhere to be found. Police have scoured the area, conducted interviews, and assessed surveillance footage, but they are still unaware of where the student described as a homebody would have gone. Mr. Harris' roommate found an Uber Eats order that was bought by Mr. Harris in the early hours of the morning, still sitting outside when he opened their apartment door at 11 a.m. The missing environmental science student pickup truck was parked in front of the apartment. His wallet and keys were left in the apartment, and all that appeared to be missing was Mr. Harris himself. I mean, it's interesting, too, because all the things left in the apartment are exactly when you know somebody was abducted in other cases. So this is a case where maybe he was abducted after he left. Maybe he was going to rendezvous with somebody at the bridge. You know, perhaps there was even somebody right next to the bridge there. Who knows? And they, something happened, I mean, who the hell knows? But I mean, if it happened below the bridge, how would they have got his body up above to hide him? Because the stream was really shallow. I just think maybe it was like, hey, he met somebody there, then they drove somewhere, and he's nowhere to be seen again. I mean, who knows what the story is? He could just be with somebody that was online, doing kinky shit or whatever, and it has nothing to do with anything. I'm just saying it absolutely opens the door for multiple other things because, obviously we've heard all the horror stories from online, people out there that pretend they're somebody else and then they're actually a psycho. After his roommates looked for their friend for a short while, they contacted the Corpus Christi police. Says this was unusual for his roommate, who described Mr. Harris as a homebody and a creature of habit, and immediately became alarmed when he saw the Uber Eats sitting there. A preliminary search of the apartment, not sure why I even said hearing, and the immediate area did not show any signs of struggle or violence, nor did it indicate a hit-and-run accident. Mr. Harris is, see that again, it sounds like he just kind of left. Mr. Harris is described as approximately 5 feet 11 and weighs about 180 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Parents' worst nightmare. His father, Randy Harris, told KRIS-TV that he spoke with his son, who was originally from New Brunsfeld, the night before he vanished, and everything seemed fine, but hours later he received the news from his wife that he was missing. Mr. Harris says the ordeal has been a parent's worst nightmare and added that his son's disappearance does not seem to make sense. There's just nothing there that would cause us to believe he was in any danger or leaving. He said to K11III. He had actually ordered his food for the next day for school. Yeah, so that's sort of interesting. He ordered the food for the next day for school, so maybe he wasn't in a hurry to come back and get it. You get what I mean? Like if you were ordering something, a hot food from Uber Eats, it'd be a little weirder that you would leave it out there. I mean, it obviously means he never made it home, But he might not have been in a hurry to get back to it, because it was just going to be like some stuff that could sit outside and not get damaged. There's just nothing there that would cause us to believe he was in danger. We just pray for patience and for the stamina to continue just anything and everything we can. His father said his disappearance seemed odd, as he stayed in contact with his family often and had made upcoming plans with friends. It's his intentions, I mean texting us, Snapchatting his friends, everything, his father told the outlet. They just got a new dog that evening, and they were out playing with the dog, and, well, it wasn't really, it was like one of the roommate's girlfriend's dog. Playing with the dog and signed the lease on his apartment for next year. Yeah, so everything points to him not going, but here's what I'm going to say right now. This is what I was saying. I think the reason he went outside at after 3 o'clock, like 3:12 or whatever it was, is the reason he's missing. Because that part is weird to me. You're walking the dog. Why wouldn't you just take the dog a little bit further to continue to, get on your phone and do that other Snapchat, right? You didn't do that. He puts the dog back inside and then exits the house again with nothing. It has the appearance to me that something traumatic happened. Some sort of piece of information he got. He just went, wow, and he ran out the door really quick. Now, what was said on the Snapchat that he sent to San Antonio at like 3:12? What was on that thing? Hey, thank you very much, Pixie Blue. Sorry, so little. Well, it's not little. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got a really expensive. This next month, my Delphi thing is going to be like ridiculous. Okay, because I've got going to be in a hotel every single night, plane flight there and back. So of course I can write some of it off, but that doesn't really. That's going to be a big one. Seems like was going to meet with somebody. Yeah. So he said that his son came to study at Texas A&M University in hopes of eventually working outdoors as a Texas game warden. Now, his father described him as the kind of person that would just stop and just help people. If somebody's got a flat tire, he's going to do what he can to help them, he added. I'm still working on it, but it sounds like it's a pretty decent chance. I've already got all the tickets and everything booked up and everything. Let's see. Mr. Harris and his friend played online video games for over an hour with another former high school classmate who lives in Colorado. At 12:56, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment captured Mr. Harris, his friend, and one of his roommates in the parking lot playing with a puppy. We've seen that. Police said there was nothing appeared out of the ordinary, and the three men returned to the apartment. Shortly after this, their mutual friend left the apartment. Right? Then around 2:20 a.m., one of Mr. Harris's roommates told the missing student that he was going to bed. But Mr. Harris said he would stay up and order snacks through Uber Eats for his school lunch later that day. At 2:44, Mr. Harris sent his younger sister a Snapchat video of him walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex. Parking lot, right? And then it says he also sent a Snapchat photo to a high school friend in San Antonio at 3:03. Okay, so that was 3:03. 2:58's when the phone quit contacting towers. And it might just be their apartments like that, and maybe that was the reason he went outside, but I don't know. I don't think so. That area was hand-to-hand walking in the creek. What? The area is under close investigation, his father told. So let me see. At 3:03 a.m., The picture depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch within a few hundred feet of the entrance to the apartment complex. That area is under close investigation, his father told News Nation. All right, that's pretty interesting. All right, you guys, we're at 153.13 right now. We get to 500, we're sending 500 to Texas EquiSearch. Okay, he also sent a Snapchat photo to a high school friend in San Antonio at 3:03. The picture depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch. We've seen it 100 times. I think I have it. I must have a different folder that I have that I'm going to have to go look for that. What day did we first cover this? Let's see, 322. I'm just going to go back a little bit. 320. $317. No, that's not it. Thank you, Simply Me. Huh? Buttercup? Well, what are you talking about? Hey, you can send a PayPal. Yeah, why give YouTube that much? Let's see. I'm trying to find the Caleb Harris. Because I know I have like a timeline out here where it was just recently. Hey, thanks, Miss Mola. Do not know where this Caleb folder that I had before. Yeah, that's not it. Open file location. Okay, here it is, but where is this? Alright, it's just out on the main. Okay, there it is. Alright, here is my timeline here. What happened, Zozo? What did I say this time? The only comment she says is rude. Wow, okay. All right, anyways, so here's the information about him. He is a junior, environmental science, loves fishing and hunting, loves all the clothes, you know. I was kind of interested about that. Wants to be sponsored, kayak guide license, work in Colorado in the summer coming up, methodical fisherman, was ready to go fishing the next day. Now we can say, you know, possibly, you know, like Reddit dating site or something. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in there. So 2:44 a.m. Harris takes dog for a walk in the complex, and he takes a Snapchat photograph, their video, and then 2:45 he orders an Uber Eats. And he must have just got back with the dog at that point, because Remember, he told the roommate that he's going to order some Uber Eats, so he must have been back in. Well, that doesn't really make any sense. Let me go back. What's this saying over here? Hold on. At 2:20, one of Mr. Harris's roommates told the missing student that he was going to bed, but Mr. Harris said he would stay up and order snacks. Okay, so the roommate goes to bed at 2:20. It's not 2 anymore. So that's 2:20. Roommate goes to sleep on couch. Caleb is awake, preparing to go fishing, and says he is going to order Uber Eats. Okay, so he didn't order them yet. Then at 2:44, he takes a dog for the walk. You know, the roommate's girlfriend's dog. Takes the dog for a walk in the complex. Thanks, Eugenie. And then he sends a Snapchat to his sister. That's what this is. So while he's out there, he does that. Then at 2:45 a.m., so it doesn't mean he has to be back in now. This is just when he's ordering the Uber Eats. Could be outside still with the dog. I think he probably is. Just right after he's talking to his sister. And then his phone apparently turns off or dies at 2:58. I think it's more likely that it just lost contact with the tower somehow. Because then at 3:03 a.m., after putting the dog back inside, he somehow needs to go back outside again. And I think that might be where Reddit or something like that comes into play. At 3:03. Then at 3:12 a.m., pings on Williams Drive, which is just right there anyways. Same area. And then 3:20, the Uber Eats delivered the food, and she's been cleared, and so was a person that she saw leaving the complex in a car who was visiting the girlfriend. All right. Pretty wild, you guys. So let's see what else this says. Yeah, say no to lulz, everybody. We're at 170. If we get the 500, I'll send 500 into Texas EquiSearch. If not, just goes into the pool. All right. Or whatever. I mean, we'll see where we get. I mean, if it's high enough, I'll send it in there. But I want to give them a bigger chunk. There's plenty of 24-hour stuff. Nobody really DoorDashes. Texas A&M University Corpus Christi said in a statement that they ask our university community and the public to keep Caleb and his family in your thoughts. I don't think I have my bots going either. But you notice no mods asked about my bots? You guys, I tell you what. Where the hell is it? There it is. His dad said they go fishing and hunting early hours before school. Yeah, but that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Okay. Hey, thanks to Broken Scout, mile 457 Rose, Michelle H. So nothing appeared out of the ordinary. The Texas student spent the evening of March 3rd, the day before he was reported missing, inside the apartment, along with his 2 roommates and a mutual friend, police said. Thanks, Matt is a cut snake. Mr. Harris and his friend played online video games for over an hour with another former high school classmate who lives in Colorado. At 12:56, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment captured Mr. Harris and his friends at one of the... Okay, we already were here. So 2:44, Mr. Harris sent his younger sister a Snapchat video of him walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment. He also sent a Snapchat photo to a high school friend in San Antonio. Okay, so it's a high school friend in San Antonio, 303. The picture depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment complex. Thanks, Amerigator. It's just off to the side. It's just not really... They didn't even think it was an accurate ping location. It's just right over here. Like Williams Drive. It's just sort of pinged off a tower, but they don't think he was even over there. All right, we're at 180.72. I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Mola. I've already seen the picture. We've already got it 100 times. We've played it. It's right here. See? That's the picture. And that picture is taken right here. Right where I have the pin. Just like that. So right here, that's where that picture is. See? That little grass spot. He's standing on the sidewalk, goes around. We don't know if there was a message sent with it. That's something we've asked. We don't know what it said. Right, we've already asked if there was a message. We don't know what the message was. What do you mean? You heard the message with the pic said drunk Hitler? What? No, he wasn't looking for bait worms for fishing. But when you say could he have been? Sure. He also could have been dreaming about aliens and artificial intelligence. He could have also been out looking for snails that might be crossing the road, but was scared that a car might hit them and move them. He also could have been out there looking for any bird scat that was left out there, but yeah, it looks like out here, I mean, that's just what it, and this was way shallower than this, like 18 inches deep at the most. So even if he had fallen off, you know what he could do though? Let me try this. Hold on. This is back in 2015, 16, 18, 21, or just 23 there. 22, 21. Yeah, so that it doesn't look much different in those, but apparently it was really low. Man, we've gone over the story 100 times. People are still... So, oh, guess what? I thought this was the 8th of March. This happened March 4th. Holy shit, that's the same date as the one... Hold on, we gotta open that back up now. That makes that way, way different. That is way different. I thought this was March 8th. Let me open this thing up. That's crazy now. Look at this. Hey, thank you, Southern Mom. Look at this. This is way different now. So this says, right here, look at this. This is March 4th. This is 3 hours, basically, before he went missing. And he's messaging somebody on Reddit. You know, I mean, what are you saying? I mean, like, what is this post, I guess? Well, let's see what... Corpus Christi something, and he says OSO Bay hiking trail, and then look at I'm totally available, delete it. Oh Jesus, man, that is and they deleted it. Looks like I don't know if they're responding to that person or what they're doing, but it says I'm totally available. That says 1 month ago. They only responded there 2 days ago. Let me see what these say here. That's it. But he commented on the same morning that he went missing. See, that's come on. I thought that was 4 days before earlier, but now now that we see it's the same day, that's a big deal. I mean, that is really, really so the Oso Bay. Oh, and Southern Mom said, thank you for bringing us some new information. Having a missing kid, even college age, one would be awful. I would if he also had dating app profiles. So what I did today was, we were trying to find his email address. So finally we found the right parents on been verified. Then I found his, so his email led to just that. There wasn't really anything interesting on that, but on the Facebook group related to him, this account was put out there that it's him. That's what they're saying. Now, I don't have any way independently to say, oh yeah, that's him. Like, I don't know how to, I don't even know how somebody found it, but, I mean, just the information alone seems pretty compelling, because Oso Bay hiking trail, I mean, this is Oso Bay right here, and that preserve that has the hiking trail in it is right here, and that's his apartment. So at like 12:45 he was maybe somebody said, hey, I'll pick you up and we'll drive there, and they never made it there. If I was them, I'd be checking this park out, because maybe they went there. It could have been that he said, yeah, I can do it like 3 something. So he goes out of his apartment. Did he not have his keys? He must have had his keys with him. He just didn't need to have anything else. He's just shorts, a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm sure law enforcement already has this, but at least we're kind of able to look at it. Yeah, and he had no shoes. Like, he was just going to go on this little trip with nothing. All right, we're at 271 cents. We got 300 more to go. Then we're sending Texas EquiSearch 500. Does my Streamlabs work? Yep. Okay. Yeah. Don't you guys hate the term boots on the ground? I don't know why. I just hate the term. It's just stupid. You can have a dumbass with boots on the ground, okay? I think you can do almost exactly the same analysis if you're good enough with mapping, you know, and there's street view. It's useful when there's no street view. But whenever I hear boots on the ground, I run the other direction. It's just, you know, the term boots on the ground means a whack job. That's what it almost stands for now. You know, boots on the ground means a crazy, you know, like some people say, hey, Gray, you're boots on the ground. I go, no, I'm just a guy at the scene. I'm trying to film something, you know, useful for people. I mean, when you hear boots on the ground, you know what pops into your head? The Krama crowd. That's what pops into your head. So somebody said, hey man, this other person, they're boots on the ground. And I'm like, who cares? Jesus. You know, every once in a while they have good stuff, right? Like they get to a right spot where you can go, okay, good, now we get a better view. Usually they don't know what they just filmed that was interesting though. Have you ever noticed that? Like they don't even realize it. It's accidental. Like I actually, when I go places, I film things for a specific reason. Like every time I've gone to Idaho, I'm just filming the route that Koberger took over and over and over again, making sure that I have it. You know, now I might have to go back and film it the other direction because I think he was probably driving the loop backwards. But I think it's just crazy. Back to the gray zone. See that we're struggling on the goal though, you guys. You can't have massive lulls and a long chain of the smaller, you know, like we got to have to get to a number like that, to give to the 500, we could do it. We can do it, you guys. It's not hard. We got 520 people. Should be pretty easy as a group to reach a total of 500 that I'll send 500 directly to Texas EquiSearch, taking a loss of $150. Okay. All right. Let me get back to this article, though. Man, that's just crazy, though. You got to admit there's something to that. That he's put a message saying where he lives. Like, you know what that looks like? You know what that looks like to me, you guys? That he was already having a conversation with somebody. He was already talking to them in DM. And then he puts out the Oso Bay hiking trail as the place to meet. Like, okay, we're gonna meet somewhere. And then at that time he says he gives that time, and then probably in private DM again, they said, yeah, let's meet around 3 something. I'll pick you up right there by the bridge. That makes the most sense of anything now. I mean, before it was just like, oh, somebody disappeared off the face of the earth for no reason at all. This information, if true, is the information that now it brings the sort of nexus of weirdness to something that makes sense, right? There was before it's like, oh, he's just walking and then poof. Now you have something here. You have him saying Oso Bay hiking trail at 12:15 the same morning that he goes missing at 3 something. Okay, so he just says, does anybody want to meet? That's what he's doing then, Zozo. He's saying, anybody want to meet at the Oso Bay hiking trail at 12:15, right? And then maybe somebody responded to him in a private message. You know how they do that? So you wouldn't see it here. This comment right here is, hi, I'm totally available. That one's 2 days ago. Whatever the hell that means. That was probably somebody that, you know, was aware of this account and just threw it out there. Okay, so he just puts out a post then. This is a post saying underneath the Corpus Christi NSFW and saying Oso Bay hiking trail, like, you know, anybody want to meet there? You know, because this is a group for hookup. It's like Tinder, basically. And then you wonder, did he get a message at like 2:45 while he was out there at the park, I mean, in the apartment complex with the dog, and then he brings the dog back up, puts the dog in, and then he goes back out after he just ordered the Uber Eats, and he's like, yeah, because the person said, yeah, I'll meet you. I'll come pick you up right by the bridge there. And that is how something happened to him. You got to admit, that makes the most sense of anything here. Because before it was just a crazy, unknowable story. I think it's not, if it is true that that's his account, I think the odds are extremely high that his disappearance is related to this. I know that doesn't, like, people don't like to do that, but I think it is. Because before there was nothing. It was like he just got abducted by an alien. Now you have something that literally has him communicating with somebody, or at least posting on Reddit, and then likely having a DM, because that's what he does all the time. If you look at if you go back over to the, let's see, if you go over to this one, and let's go back out to, I guess it's this right here. So out here at the high level here with his name, you can hit his post or comment. If you go to comments here, like how many times, look at it, DM me, DM me, DM me, you know, DM me, DM me, DM me. They're all that. So maybe he said that somewhere, you know, I don't know if, you know, maybe that comment would still be there if he said it. But man, maybe they have other ways to communicate, you know, that's more somebody you already knew perhaps, and you already have a DM going with them. So it could be somebody that they communicated with multiple times. And another massive lull, everybody, a massive lull going on currently. I don't know, Miss Muller. No, it's not Telegram, it's Reddit. Yeah, his email didn't have a Telegram account, but he might have other emails that he uses. Because what email did he use for this Reddit account, for example? That didn't show up on Telegram either. I looked up his email on Telegram and didn't, or I mean, on that site that I use, and he wasn't on there. Yeah, we don't know that one. I mean, some of these comments, there's posts out there that he comments on that, you know, could be even a guy's private part that he goes, oh, that's big, you know, like, so he's he's all over the place, you know, sexually, I guess. I mean, I don't know if this is him. He's sort of interested in everything. Oh yeah, so you put another one, like to meet at a beach or park, huh? It's weird though, because like the comments, there's only, that's it. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, like 8 comments in here. Thanks, Alley Cake, for the attempt. This is going to be one of those fizzle attempts, I can tell. Yeah, so he has a ton of posts, I guess. Does anybody know what these mean? Like M21 or something? Like it says NSFW. I mean, look what the name of this is right here. Can you read that? I don't want to say it out loud, but you can see it, right? Look at that. It's ridiculous. So male 21. And then this is on camera. So he's like, hey, you want to meet on camera? I'm 21. Okay, there you go. There you go. And then this NSFW, I think, is the group. Although, what's this one, though? What's NSF? Okay, what does NSFW mean, then? Yeah, we just figured that out. Male 21. And then this is just casual chat, looking for this is camera. Not safe for work. What does that mean? What does that stand for? Oh, not safe for work. Okay. Like, not safe to open in front of people. Okay. Alright, so this means don't look at this at work. I mean, who the hell's on Reddit at work anyways? I mean, just the fact that you're on Reddit often means you're sort of a little, you know, a lot of kooky people on Reddit. And I can say that with high confidence because I'm aware. Thank you, Cindy J. So do you guys have the desire to reach the goal to send in the Texas EquiSearch tonight? Because that's who I'm doing it for tonight. We're currently at 204.69. Ironically. NSFW. Yeah, I just said that. We know that walkie-talkie. Figured it out. So these are all these M21 and camera. And look what he's doing it in his buddy rooms here. I thought he had a girlfriend too. Looking for some fun, super horny session. Jesus. Looking for some fun. And this one has a picture in it, obviously. Any F's? Any up RN? Not sure. Hey, thank you, Golan Vern. Look at that. We're making our way. We're now at 289.31. Thank you. Appreciate it. She said, we can do it. If we can do it, anybody can. And he was on there a lot. I mean, and recently, like these are all like a month ago. What's the date on this? Let's look at all the ones in here. The dates here. How come it doesn't have the rollover date on that? Oh, there it is. February 25th. This one says February 25th. I guess let's go back up here. I mean, look at all these. They're right at the time here. So 1 month, I guess it's in order like that. So this one says March 4th. This one is March 2nd. Just 2 days before, March 2nd again. And this is at 10:31. This one is at 10:33. This one's March 2nd at 10:30. March 2nd at 7:37. March 2nd at 1:32 a.m. Now we're getting around 1:29:07. 1:23 a.m. 1:16 a.m. So why would you make so many posts like that? Like, wouldn't the one right there, what's wrong with just having that post? Okay, that's a casual chat, casual chat, casual chat. Now camera. So now he wants it to be on camera. Then this one is 101, 12:56. It's kind of strange that he has so many posts in a row, like on the same day, within hours, that are exactly the same. I mean, wouldn't you just wait for somebody to comment? Like, this thread has been locked by the moderator. Well, that's interesting. I'm kind of nervous clicking on anything here. It might go to some crazy picture. Yeah, they just want camera. But maybe he's trying to get to see somebody first. Camera. I mean, does that mean he's like doing like exposition work on there? March 1st. That's 10:03. February 27th, 10:56. Now this one says male 22. Maybe that was just a typing error. Or maybe he just was trying to pretend he was a little bit older. Alright, we're at 294.31. 1 month, February 27th. All right, I'm just gonna go way down here. Let's see how long he's been doing this. That's 3 months ago. I think that's where it starts. So he wasn't doing this prior. So January 20th. It's almost like he started doing it and then got addicted to it. It was really fun or something like that. Hey, thank you, Even Steven. By the way, let's open up the phone lines now. You guys want to call in and talk about this? This is crazy. Uber Eats delivery at 3:20. The Uber Eats delivery driver brings the order to Mr. Harris' apartment, leaving it outside near the front door as the order requested. However, at 11 a.m., one of the roommates discovered the order still sitting outside the front door. Multiple agencies working on the case. If you have any information, call the Corpus Christi Police Department at 361-826-2840. Hello, this is Gray. You've entered the gray zone.
Hey, Gray, it's Scout.
Hey, what's going on?
You sound so innocent talking about this subject.
Well, no,
with this Reddit group.
But why should I know about what NSF? I mean, it's weird that all of you know what those words mean. I know now, but I mean,
I was a platoon sergeant in the Army. I know what every bit of that shit means.
Yeah, well, I do now. You know.
No, it's funny. Just listening to you sit there and try to. It's hilarious. We love you, Gray.
Well, yeah, because I'm not somebody that's an expert. I'm sure some of you guys hang out in these porn groups, but I don't know what this stuff means myself. So now I do. Yeah.
I believe. Do we know what religion this dude is? Because I believe when you were covering it last time,
his parents were pretty religious.
His family refers to the church.
Yeah, and like he's got I think it was that his parents were the ones that said he's protected by some sort of, I can't remember the term they use. Something.
But the only religion I know that refers to itself and its followers as they're active in the church, they're this with the church, are Mormons. That's my gut feeling. My gut feeling is this dude he wanted to go get a little freaky in the woods, and he either got blackmailed and suicide, or he got catfished and done in. But either way, the only thing that stood out to me in that article was how they referred to he's really good in the church or something like that.
Yeah.
And growing up, that's exactly how every Mormon I grew up with referred to everybody, was in the church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I think that before it was just this weird shit. Like, oh, wow. It's almost as if an alien spacecraft beamed them on board. And now there's something that literally, I think, means something. If this is his account, I think it is. I mean, it feels like it is. The age, the location, and then he goes missing 3 hours after his last message, or like his last post where he says, hey, meet me over here. And maybe somebody took him up on it. I think it might be somebody who was already DMing. And so that was where the next thing came. So their next conversation went there. That's why you don't see it below his post. So then they were like, yeah, I'll come by. I'll pick you up over at the, near that bridge or whatever. Maybe even walk past the bridge out to that highway over there. There's just one a little down the road there. And I don't know, man. Him falling in the water there, it just seems ludicrous.
I'll give you all some free advice. I was told 2 things that served me well when I was in the military.
Learn about learn about the abbreviations on porn sites.
No, I had to find that out because those perverts are everywhere.
Okay,
but
that's right.
Nothing good happens out after midnight.
Yeah.
And flies spread disease, so keep yours closed.
Yeah, especially when you're in the Middle East somewhere over there, like in the serving in battle. Probably some flies with some crazy crap on them, right?
Yeah, but it was odd when we crossed the border in Iraq in 2003. There were a lot of red-headed, freckled Iraqi kids around 10 to 12 years old, where we were at in Iraq at that time during the Gulf War. There was a lot of Brits in that area. 10 years later, we're back over there. A lot of British-looking, freckled-headed kids running around.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. Well, anyways, I got those laser bullet things. That's pretty good practice with those things.
Yes, those things are key. The 2 best ways to master anything, it's either pain or repetition. So unless you want your wife to smack you in the face every time you do it, just keep practicing it so you don't have to have any pain with it.
Yeah, what I noticed with that, like you're supposed to line the top of the, I'm just saying, like you know how revolvers work, but you have the top part, the little part at the end that sticks up at the end of the barrel, and then the 2 lower sights. Mine doesn't shoot. Yes. If I line those up, it goes low every time. So I have to have it kind of up. It's strange. It's like it's not exactly right. It's like you have to have it like halfway between the high part and, like it sticks up like a triangle. Almost.
Everybody's sight picture is about the same. Another good trick: take your index finger, instead of putting it on the trigger, put it to where it follows along the barrel, and if you turn it sideways, the kill shot, as people on the street refer to, your finger, especially on a carbine or what people use in the military, anything within 50 yards, if your finger is lined up with that barrel, you will hit what you're shooting.
Yeah.
50 meters, not yards.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what I'm saying is, even when like somebody said it's the recoil, Grant, I go, no, it's not the recoil, because there's no recoil on laser. So I'm just saying, I can set it up where it's, when you, on that particular type of revolver, you can pull it really slowly and it clicks twice, and then it's a hair trigger on the last one. And I have to actually have the end sight up above the two front sights. It's not level. And that's the only time it hits that laser, that little square box that you shoot. So there's something wrong with the sight on it. It's not me. It's like
you can get a smaller sight. I would take it to the whatever gun shop you purchased that at. They should offer some kind of gunsmithing services. You can either get a new sight, or you can take a metal file. You put chalk on the file and you just file it down a couple strokes at a time, and you keep lining up that laser to where it's with your sight pitch.
Oh, nice.
Because everybody else's sight pitch is gonna.
Yeah. Or what about like putting I guess I was thinking of like drawing a red line on the sight lower, or something that you could see that when that's lined up with the front, then you couldn't see the laser, I guess. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you just kind of keep filing it down until you see the laser right on it, right? Yeah.
Yes, right where you want it to be at. That's
I see.
One way to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyways, all right.
All gunsmithing work boils down to, if you have enough time, is all you need is a file, a good set of screwdrivers, and a nice hammer.
Yeah, well, there you go. I wouldn't ever try something like that. But anyways, well, thanks for the info and making me feel like a naive idiot when it comes to online sexting. Or whatever the hell it is.
Well, I also have an expert who sits in my ear with a whole lot of criminal terms and stuff. So if I ever sound like I'm talking really smart in chat, chances are it's Adniram.
Adniram. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, let's do it. We got to meet up if you're over there. I think I would do the 2 hours if it all worked out. What about? Why don't you just take a break that day and drive in, and we can sit around and talk about the case, and then you go right back out to where you were and head back out.
Oh, yeah. So my route, when Richard Allen's trial starts, by the time it actually starts to get into effect or whatever, the meat and potatoes of it, we should be walking around the southwestern side of Indianapolis. And then if you're there during that time, I already told her, I go, we need to go up there and we'll take a break. I'll drive up there and
yeah, just for the
I'll
day.
buy some beer. I'll show you what the Army can drink.
Oh shit! Oh man, maybe what day of the week is that going to be? A Friday? Because that'd be better.
I can wait on a Friday.
Because the thing, what I'm saying is, because it's like if I have to go to the trial the next day, and I'm just totally out of it.
Oh no, I would not set you up for failure.
Okay, all right. All right.
If anything, I'd bring you a nice bottle of whiskey, and then you could drink it later.
All right. Well, anyways, hey, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
All right. Scouts out.
Scouting. Well, it used to be scouting, dude, but a broken scout, not a scouting dude. All right, you guys, we're at 3:13. We're making our way. We only have 187 to go. And then we'll send $500 to Texas EquiSearch, even taking a loss of 30% on my end for the day. You got to admit that's a good deal, don't you think? Yeah, Sparrow, we can read. Sparrow, it's right there. See, it's right there on the screen. And by the way, I feel so fortunate on this channel to have met so many awesome people, It's just amazing, It's crazy. So, very cool, very cool. What's on session? They're actually in court on Saturdays there? Oh, God, you got to be kidding me. It's 6 days a week? This is just the gray zone look here. That's all. This is old. I mean, it looks like we used to do this thing called, here, I'll show you. This one. Personal paranormal experience. Now you might go, gosh, Gray, you're not into that kind of stuff. And I'm not. I don't believe in any of the crazy, what that show was for was, you know those one time in your life where something weird happened? Like you just go, man, I can't explain that. And those are the stories I wanted people to tell. That's it. Yeah, I don't want to hang over in court. Forget that. Well, I'm going to have my nighttime shows, and I definitely need better support on those nights than tonight when I'm on that trip. I can tell you that. I hated having to be home at 12 midnight as a teen. I set my kids' curfew for 12:30. All right, Nikki Zubs. Yep, it's going to be a long slog getting there. Now, there's really no information on the two missing women, really. But there he is. Call in, you guys. We're talking about Caleb Harris here. New information that he was using a Reddit account, and it was actually the same day he was missing at 12:15. He put out a message saying, "Meet me here," at 12:15 a.m., just 3 hours before he went missing. And so we know that he didn't go there because he was out in the parking lot. Well, let's go back look at that. Watch. There it is, Caleb Harris. So check this out. Look at this. That was at 12:15. At 1 a.m., he's out in the parking lot with his dog and roommates. So he wasn't out there at that time. So that was later that somebody might have responded. This is Gray. You're in the gray zone.
Hey, buddy, it's Steve. Even Steven.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just getting some work done tonight. Reason I was calling is I just want to make a point of, I think it's very unlikely that the water has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Especially with
the new information.
That is an abnormally high amount of Reddit activity. That is a sex addiction.
Yeah. So that seems like
that's meeting a lot of new people, and also I think
there's a lot of psychos out there. There's a lot of psychos on Reddit too. So
yes, it's the new Craigslist.
That's right.
And I think a lot of these cases you see, they pop up and they end up finding these young people in the water. I think the water becomes, every time a case happens, it's like convenient. And you're going to have people jumping on that always.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think?
You know,
I mean, do you think that, what do you think in terms of,
I believe he was probably picked up.
Mm-hmm, that's what I think. Yeah.
You know, I think maybe it was going to be just like a quick run somewhere, maybe a quickie for him, and he didn't need a lot of stuff with him. He might not even wanted his roommates to even know he went. And that's what I think, but I don't have a whole lot to add. I love the show, and I appreciate it, brother.
Well, thanks, man. That was a nice thing to say, but I think you added a lot right there. So
yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a great one.
You too. Bye. All right. Steven. Even Steven.
It's the house.
Thank you, the Broken Scout and Peter. And there is Danielle. Nobody was going to give you a hard time last night. Okay. But if you missed the beginning of the show, I have been communicating with Chris Proudfoot, and man, I gotta tell you, I just do not see anything, you guys. I don't see anything. And I think if everybody else had communicated with him too, you would just be like, oh, he's a little bit like Steve Gonzalez in the Idaho 4 case. Hey, thank you so much, Danielle. Goal! Going for the goal. So right now, I think when that pops in, not sure where we're at. 324. We'll see here in a minute. Yeah, I think we're at 374.31 in reality. Not the screen might not be accurate there because we have 324 plus the 50 from the channel memberships I'm adding in there, so that makes it 374. Yeah, we're only about 120 something away now. We can do it. We can do it. Just to feel good, Daphne. Just to feel good. Is that okay? Or she said, "Why is Gray smoking?" That makes it seem like she thinks it's real. If she said, "What is Gray smoking?" I think there's a better shot that he got lost in the woods. Check all holes. Oh, you're talking about Sebastian? Yeah. I don't know. Sebastian case is weird, and it was made weirder by Seth, the biological father. When I look at the case, the weirdest one of them all is him. He's the one that acts the strangest. Even though you might think they're all a little weird, he's the one that acts the weirdest on the cameras. He's the one, so the thing is I don't think any of them, the odds are none of them have anything to do with anything. But it's weird how one of them got the admiration of the public when the other ones, they actually were taking care of him, got the absolute hell from the rest of society. Hey, thank you, Amelia Lavender said, appreciate the daily hard work. Thank you, Grant Hughes. Well, thank you. And like I said, if we get to 500, I'm sending in $500 to Texas EquiSearch. We currently are at 379.31. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So let's just go through it like this. If you're just going to randomly go through this case, watch this. Was that you, Stephen, that called in just now? Right there? Stephen Williams? No, I don't. Yeah, the Blair Witch. I don't know what's going on with that. But check it out. So you have Chris and Katie, who have done many interviews to try to get the story out, the timeline, get people interested in the case. And early on, they were deemed to be the villains in the case, so every single word that they said was parsed and analyzed into oblivion. And yeah, I mean, maybe you don't like them, their personality, or maybe you believe some of the stories that other people have said that it's absolutely irrelevant to the case, etc. And they're out there, and Chris, instead of going out and doing cash apps and going on everybody's show trying to get funds, he's out working to bring in the funds, because even if they wanted to do something where he could stay in town and search, that nobody would send a nickel in there, because you'd have a scarlet letter for donating, and nobody would send any donations in. Nobody would help them out, right? Because if I sent something in, oh, that gray bastard, look at that guy, look at that. Yeah, so forget it, forget it. So nobody's going to send anything at all, so he has to work to pay the mortgage and all that stuff, okay? He's got to do it. law enforcement told them that when they asked, what can we do? They said, you can send out flyers, get his name out there, and they probably thought, well, cool, we'll do these interviews with these outstanding YouTubers, and unfortunately, he picked the worst of the worst to do his their interviews on. The absolute scumbuckets of YouTube, all right? The ones that, I wouldn't say Chronicles of Olivia was bad, I mean, hers was good. She did the interview, and it was just peaceful. There's nothing weird in there. But the rest of them, they put it out there, and then they start doing shows on how sketch something is. Look how sketchy this is and that. And then everybody starts coming forward, the ex-wife, with all these stories that are absolutely irrelevant, but were put out there to increase the negativity towards one side of the story. All right, so here you have these people, and what was the other thing? The information about the 10 o'clock in the morning, that wasn't supposed to be said at all. 10 p.m. I mean, that wasn't supposed to be said by the wife, and so that's why he's not saying anything about it. I mean, even though it's already out there, it wasn't supposed to be said. Hey, yabba dabba doo, and thanks again up there, Broken Scout. Come on, freaks. Continuing, Nikki Zoobs. We are at currently 4. Wow, we're up there now. 4:34. Only 60 something away, you guys. Only 60 something away. Right, of course. And then, so I just explained their side of the story. They've had a few inconsistencies that are really mundane things that are really irrelevant. If they said, well, it was blue, and the next day they said teal, they say, see, look at that, they changed it to teal. Well, no, blue and teal, you can see how somebody might say blue, or maybe it's aquamarine. Okay, and then you've got a guy, Seth, who, and by the way, Katie and Chris have never said anything negative about Seth out in public, have they? Other than that letter, that response that the wife put out, and that still wasn't negative. It was just that he shouldn't have put this information out there about a child. Thank you, Nikki Zubs. Then you've got Seth, who goes out and does all these shows. He's not work. Why doesn't he work, for example, and then on his days off, go over there? Instead, he's raising all these money on his cash apps, going on all these shows, trashing the parents, perpetuating a narrative that so many of you out there just enjoy to follow as if it's the gospel. And I can just tell you right now, I mean, I've talked to him, and I could be totally wrong. I at this point, I'd be shocked out of my mind if Chris has anything to do with anything. I don't know. I haven't talked to the wife. I've seen her interviews. I don't know anything about any of that. Right? But I can just tell you that I would be shocked out of my mind if they had anything to do with it. I mean, here's a better story. You want to hear one? Here's a scenario that you could do on the other side, right? Here's the devil's advocate position on the other side. What if Seth, who, we hear the stories how Sebastian wants to be with Seth. So what if he planned to have because he's able to use the internet at his house, right? He's able to get online and do all that stuff. But what if Seth had somebody else pick up Caleb, and just like we talked about last night, and he's somewhere out there, and not Caleb. He picked up Sebastian. So somebody comes and picks up Sebastian, and he's out there, and Seth knows where he is. So he's on this campaign to trash the parents into oblivion, to make them look like the most horrible people in the world, so that when the truth comes out, people will go, oh, I totally understand why he would do that. He was just protecting his son, everybody. How come that story isn't just as plausible as all the other crazy ones? The other weird, it's wild. It's wild stuff. What do you mean I'm negative lately? This is exactly how I've always been, Nurse Mama. By the way, does anybody think I'm really negative right now? I'm just telling a story. I mean, what are you talking about? You sound like a lunatic. What the hell are you talking about? Jesus. You make me negative because of your dumb comment right there. This is just how I am. This is how I've always been. 304, you're on the air in the gray zone.
Hey, Gray.
Hey.
I just wanted to call in. I kind of agree with you on this.
Yeah.
I don't think, I'm not sure what's going on, but, he does work at a correctional facility. It's inmates.
Yeah.
It's a local jail. It's not like some major federal jail or something. People get out. I don't think people understand that. This guy could have even pissed somebody off for all we know. Who gets on YouTube and tells people they spit in people's food and throw it in the dirt and really
I guess I haven't seen all of his. I just saw a couple.
I've seen a lot. I don't like to watch it, honestly. After seeing his interviews, I don't know. Some of these parents act like, I know if he's autistic, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I've raised 3 kids that didn't have any problems, and they're all adults. And as a mother, I'm like 45 here, and honestly, I could tell you if I went missing or my kid went missing and something like that happened to them, like when they're 7,
Mm-hmm.
like how long is that, like 7, 8 years ago? If my kid was possibly out there, I don't think I would want that on YouTube.
No.
And them to hear that.
I think the stuff that the bio dad has done is bizarre.
That is the most
Don't you think?
vilest thing.
I think the stuff that the
that I've heard.
bio dad has put out is just absolutely absurd. How his behavior has been. Now, but everybody's going, "Oh, what a great dad!" Show me some video of him out there searching all day long. Okay, so show me some of that, everybody.
I ain't seen it. I'm just saying, I'm not taking anybody's side. I just.
Have you seen? No, have you seen him? No, have you seen him out there? I don't care if anybody's searching. Law enforcement knows how to search. A lot of times, these other people searching are just trying to get their name out. Look at me, everybody! I'm searching. Law enforcement knows what they're doing. They grit it off. Huh?
Gray, I can't remember the lady's name.
Which one?
Remember the mom who's, they thought the dad had done it, and her sister and them had to look for her for a long time. It took them, I don't know, I think they suspected that his grandparents maybe put her in a freezer or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I don't remember the
She
case.
had kids. Remember she was supposed to have the kids' birthday party? She was like Mexican. Okay, it was a big case. Everybody covered. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But I remember, people tried to help that family. It took a couple years, and her sister would come. I think they lived in California, and would come to where she lived, and they would hire people to come in with special drones and things like that to search areas.
Mm-hmm.
I think you covered it. There was a golf course involved that they found something of hers on. I can't think of her name.
I just don't remember the birthday part. I don't remember any of that. I'm sure if it...
It was a couple of years back. But I remember even John Norton covered it, about it, and that's what he was talking about, that they had to work jobs, and then on the weekends they would come in and search for, hire a team when they could, and could raise enough money. I might leave there too. If he has to go back to work, I don't think I would stay in the house by myself with the things that are being said about this family. I don't think, as a woman, I don't think I'd feel safe alone in that house either.
Yeah, people are wondering, do you have a chirping sound going on in the background?
I think it's my
Like a beeping?
smoke alarm.
That's your smoke alarm, okay.
It's my smoke alarm.
Everyone's blaming it on me, so I figured I'd blame it on you. Okay. There you go. I hear it again.
It's definitely me.
Okay.
But, no, I don't think that we should be talking about the kid like they are. I think that I mean, if it's relevant to why he's gone, I understand that. But if it has nothing to do with why he's gone...
Oh, 8675309 said it. Maya Malete, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, Maya Malete.
Oh, she
I'm
wasn't
sorry,
Mexican, though. They were
They
weren't Mexican, though. They were Filipino, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry, Filipino.
Yeah, I would have got the
know
story
she
if
was-
you'd said that, but I didn't know.
Yeah, but I remembered her, but I mean, her family had to search for years. I mean, the police do eventually quit searching for people, like, in a big scale like that. I mean, they have to have a lead as to look somewhere. So if they don't have any leads, then a lot of time that does mean family members have to look for them, and it does cost money, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody that's on YouTube is going to come out and help you look every weekend for 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
It's not fair to them to say that they're hiding or they're selling their house. Or, I mean, if you don't have proof of that, I don't know why everybody's going on about it.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is they're not raising any money. The Proudfoots. He's out working and letting law enforcement do what they're doing. And the thing is, do you think they have any ability really to raise a significant amount of money given the negative exposure and negative comments and disposition they've been given by the social media super sleuths out there? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So everyone always wonders. So here's the thing: is everybody always complains about the Proudfoots and their behavior, but a lot of it's dictated by the anti-love that they've gotten. They've gotten absolute hell from everybody, so they're not able to do all the little things that everybody else thinks that normal parents do. Because normally they're all treated great by the public when there's literally a kid that wandered off or something.
Yeah.
So anyways, it just sucks, the whole thing. And I'm not saying I even know the final disposition of the case, but based on what law enforcement has said, there's no evidence whatsoever pointing to them. The treatment of them so far has been abhorrent by social media and just everybody. Okay, it's been ridiculous, terrible. Okay, and that's the reality of it. Okay, all I can say is now if something comes forward, then it'll be like, okay, boom, that's great. Now we're in that zone, right? But there isn't a zone now. They've just been treated like garbage.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My kid walked off one time when he was 8, because my dad told him to go take a walk in the woods, and we lost him for like 40 minutes. It was scary, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I wouldn't be judging them either at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to pass judgment, but honestly, I mean, I thought that if you're co-parenting and everything's so nice, why are we just looking at one ex? I mean, he has an ex and she has an ex. Not everybody has nicest things to say about their
but
ex.
I guess the thing I have is, like, it's weird that we're all looking at exes and any of that stuff at all. I mean, law enforcement doesn't have anything. They've looked at everything. We can just sit here and theorize all the time. You can come up with theories about Seth. You can come up with theories about Chris. You can come up with ones about Katie. You can spend all day just coming up with different theories, but law enforcement's way, way ahead of us. I mean, they've got their phones, they've looked through everything, and they can find nothing. So I think at that point, people should sort of backtrack a little bit, step a little back and say, hey, has this been fair so far? And I don't think it has been. I think it's been a joke. Okay, so anyways, that's my opinion. Appreciate you you calling in.
Thanks.
Call in again sometime. It was good.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good
Bye.
one. See you. Yeah. And I listen to this. I'll still feel the same way, even if one of them turns out to be related to the case. Okay? I will. I'll feel exactly the same way. Because there's no right for the public to have turned like that so quickly with no information pointing to them. And you know how we know there's no information? Because law enforcement hasn't even found any information. So how in the hell do we have information? Oh, because he said something differently. Gray, you're so mean. You've turned so bitter. What the hell are you talking about? This is just how I talk, you know? I mean, if you don't like it, watch something else, for God's sakes. But in the meantime, hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Hit that like button, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Do our 100, 120, 120, 130, 140, 150, 150, 160, 170, 180. Hit that like button. And...
Ron Pexa!
I'll do it myself. Ron Pexa! There we go. There we go. Hey, we're still not there yet, you guys. We have a little more to go. Just taking time off for work. That was for 8675309. Thank you, Sharon Gornick, the legend. How's it going, Sharon Gornick? Haven't seen you in a while. How's everything going? That name is so perfect. Doesn't Ron Pexa sound like... You know what's funny about Ron Pexa? Is he's a guy that actually exists in the world. But he doesn't know that we ever even mention his name because he doesn't have anything to do with this. But we still say his name all the time. I think he was some sort of... I don't know if he was a felon at some point or some neighbor of somebody. I don't even remember who the hell he was, but he showed up in a case... but his name was just so awesome, so we start saying, Ron Pexa! He was in the Molly Tibbetts trial. It's like a perfect name now. It's so perfect. Yeah, good to see you, Sharon Gornick and Kit. All right. But guess what, everybody? It's time to send Texas Equisearch some money. All right. I mean, there really isn't anybody better than Tim Miller, right? I mean, it's just the truth that Texas Equisearch, when it's Tim Miller, are the best. If it's Texas Equisearch, the other part, forget it. Okay. If you can get Texas Equisearch, the Tim Miller branch, you've got the best. I wish I could like designate that. Like when you do the donation, you say, yes, only if it's the Tim. I don't know if it works like that. All right, here we go. 500 smackers. And we're sending it in. There it is. All right. And there it is on the screen. Thanks for donating. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Holy crap. You didn't do it, Greg, because it wasn't on the screen, you bastard. So there it is right there. Thanks for donating $500 US to Texas Equisearch. And then, I think if I go to my email, it should be in there. Sometimes they take longer. Oh, there it is right there. The very top. So look it. I'm going to put it way down here at the bottom. It's right there. That way you can't see any other emails. Service PayPal. Oh, and then I can open it up. And there it is. You donated $500 on April 6th. And there is the oh, I got to get rid of... Great, kept the Peter thing on the screen so nobody... It's right there. You donated $500 US to Texas Equisearch. And there we go. And it's right there. April 26th, 2024, etc., etc., etc. There we go. All right. All proven every single damn time on the screen. Now, if anybody else wants to help support the channel, we may cover the 30% that YouTube takes. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. We've got the, we got to update our numbers now, though. Here we go. So, current year now is 15,000 for the year. There we go. And we can add 500 to the one, this one. So it's 194,600. And there we go. Boom. Isn't that going to be sweet when we get to 200? You know, it'll just look weird. Are you kidding me? I'll be thinking, gosh, Gray, you're dumb. I'm just kidding. I think it's the best thing you could do is like what we're doing here. It makes such a huge difference out there. So thank you guys for making it happen. Very cool, very cool. Yeah. So you can call in about any of the two cases. So if you're here later and you're interested in the Caleb Harris case, which was the main one we were talking about, keep in mind now that, on one of the sites, one of the Facebook groups out there, someone was able to determine that Caleb Harris had a Reddit account, and Zozo and I were looking at it. She found some of the accounts were deleted, etc., and it shows that he was on the same day that he went missing, 3 hours before he went missing. He donated. Jesus. He made a post on Reddit. I think I still have it. It's right here. That's the very top one. So look at this. Hold on, I want to read the. Oh yeah, with my hat sideways, MW. Yeah, we just don't want to mention people's names in the chat. I can say it, but we don't put it in there. Anyways, right here, look at this, you guys. On March 4th, that's the day that he went missing, at 12:15:30, he's on Reddit and he posts, and this is on a Reddit group where it's a sexual website. This means, I guess, it's not safe to show at work, something like that. And I think M4A is a video format, if I remember correct. Let me look this up. I don't know if that's what that is, but what is M4A? MP4 is a popular multimedia format used to share and stream video content. But what is M4A? So that is is an audio file format from Apple that can store several audio content types. Now maybe that's a different meaning on here, but that's what I thought it meant. So that's what that means? Mature audience? Okay, well M4A is an actual video code, which is the same thing that Pretty Eyes said right there. Mail for anyone? What? Is that what M4A stands? Let me see if there's another M4A meaning online chat. M4, okay, that means, can someone explain these? Okay, here it is. What does M4A mean on Reddit? It's an audio file extension encoded with advanced audio. See, I knew something that you guys didn't know. Oh, and the other one says mail for anyone. Thank you. I knew M4, but couldn't figure out M4A. But both answers are correct. All three are correct. Model 4 Advanced. Whatever. Who the hell knows, man? Let me see if there's a different answer over here. People putting M4A when actually you want M4F. Oh. It really pisses me off. Specify you want your partner to play a female. Oh, is that what that is? So M4F means... Now let's see what this means. It really pisses me off. Specify you want your partner to play female character. I'm just reading it over here. and totally acceptable tag. Welcome to... personally, I hate Reddit's obsession with those labels in general, to be honest. I care way more about the gender of my partner's character than their gender. What? Also, a woman who plays men 98% of the time, no matter what I do, is awkward. So what does M4A mean then? Oh, male for anyone, meaning man or a woman? Like, is that what that stands for? Like M4F would be, I'm a male, but I want for a female. But M4A would be male for anyone, right? Ah, wow. So, see, there you go. That's what I was thinking, that he's a little bit like, you know, I'm male, but often write female character because people putting M4, what does M4F, M4M such mean? What does... Let's see. What does... I want the exact... Somebody type in M4A on Reddit mean. If someone has M4A as their tag, that means they are okay with male writers or writers of any gender. Okay. So it's either male or any... No, it says male 4A. So it means male writer, and then the other part is or any gender. Okay. Well, there you go. That's what I thought a minute ago. So we're looking right here. So right here it says... We scroll over the time here. It is 12:15 a.m. Although that says Pacific Standard Time. So what time is that? That's crazy. That means it would be like that's even later. It would be like, what time is it in Corpus Christi right now? I think it's like 2 hours later. What time is it in Corpus? This is crazy now, you guys. This could be like right then. Okay, so it's 11:20. It's 9:20 here. Then that means that this post was at 3:15. If I'm reading this correctly, this says 12:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3:15. That is literally. Let's look at this thing here. Look at this. 3:12, his phone pings on Williams Drive. Look at that. I mean, are you kidding me? Wow. So that means it's 2 hours different. I guess it's 2:20 then. Okay, you're right. It's only, well, it's weird in my head. I knew it was 2 hours, but I still said 3. So let's do it again. Let's go back up here. So that means this is at, it'd be 14:15 or 2:15 a.m. So now let's go back to our thing, but it makes it a lot crazier though, doesn't it? So that means right around in this time when his roommate goes to sleep and he says, you know, I'm going to stay awake a little bit. You know, I'm going to order some Uber Eats. But now he's just started a conversation or a post about meeting over at this area right here. Literally less than an hour before he goes missing forever. So now it's even more significant. I didn't notice the Pacific Standard Time earlier. Isn't that crazy, you guys? That's absolutely nuts. Wow. And that's if this ends up being his account, it's absolutely significant. I think it's incredibly significant. I mean, it's even more. It was significant when it was 12:15, but now we're in those late morning hours where you're looking at it's 2:20 when his roommates go to sleep. Just 5 minutes before that, he's already made a post. And then at 2:44, he goes on walks the dog maybe. Yeah, maybe he's chatting in a DM somewhere. And then Uber Eats arrive at, well, he orders Uber Eats at 2:45 for school tomorrow. But then maybe during this time frame is when he got an offer or a reply at 2:58. Then at 3:03, he's on his way, sends a Snapchat image to a buddy in San Antonio, almost as if saying, hey, if something happens to me, here's where I was. And then at 3:12, his phone is pinging somewhere in the area. And then at 3:20, his Uber Eats arrives. I think somebody came by and picked him up. Yeah, are they Mormons, or I know you mentioned that on the show, but I think they said that they were. I think I kind of remember that. How far is this place in the meeting spot? Well, it's not far at all. It's just right here. Look. I mean, this is the place. He said the hiking trails. This in this preserve over here, Osa Bay Wetland Preserve. So it looks like there's hiking trails in here, right? So there you go, and he's just right over here. You know, we could do it. We can just do something like this. How about we, is this a driving? Yeah. So let's go like this. Let's figure this out. Let's put a pin. So we already got one there. And then we'll put a pin inside here. All right, guys, so we've already sent it in, but if you want to help make up a little bit of the 30%, that'd be great. Here's the parking area right there. And now let's do, this might be better just to do with, we don't need it on here. It's a lot easier with Google Maps, actually. Yeah, so he's about right here. So directions, driving, right here to right, and then this one right there. Yeah, so there's the quickest way is 5 minutes and it's only 2 miles. And actually this is stupid here how they have this. I mean, why not just, it's dumb. I don't know why they have it like that. But anyway, it's only 1.9 miles. It's just right there. How about let's do it, lad. Get rid of that. Do directions again. How about right here to right there. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe they picked them up and drove right by again on Enos Johnson Road. And look at that, there's no cell cam, or what the hell do you call it? Those cameras, you know, I was going to say cell towers, but no, the surveillance cameras. There's none right there. Let me go to Street View. See what that looks like right here. Like right in this area. Is there anything that might have a camera? Is there a fence? Oh yeah, forget it. Yeah, no way. So this route right here is just really kind of devoid of anything. Let's see what it looks like right over here. Is there another fence again? Okay, these might have something. You know, maybe there's a camera on one of these. Yeah. So you're coming around. And man, if I was them, I'd do an all-out search in this park right here. I would pack this park filled with as many searchers as possible and try to get this figured out. Yeah, so you would pick him up here, right at that bridge. And maybe right when he got here, he walked across. And let's just draw it on ourselves here. It just kind of comes down here. And then here, then this direction. Yeah, we're almost there. Like that. So it's so close. And here's a little parking spot. Yeah, 1.72 miles. So it's even shorter. See, look at that. Right there. And if I was them, I'd be looking right here in this park. Right there. Doesn't that make sense? Because maybe they even went there. It could be that they just picked them up and took them somewhere else. But, you know, maybe they went there, you know, and that's, the person said, oh God, what a great place to do whatever I'm going to be doing at that park, because there's nobody's going to be there. I mean, look at all this crap. Is there any 360-degree cameras out here? Yeah, there are many, many, many. So here's what the trails look like. So this is what it looks like out there. I mean, this is like serial killer heaven, you know? Look at this. You know, bring a body 50, 100 yards out back there. Nobody's walking in there. Man, you guys, we hit that that thing and just let's see what it looks like on this path. I think it's the same lady. It's so cool when people post these. They're so valuable, you know. Man, at 3 in the morning, this would be just spooky as all hell. Yeah, looks like there was another 360 over here. Let's see if this is where you would park, I guess. Somewhere around here. And this one's on Street View. So somewhere in here, you know, maybe park over. Hey, let's go for a walk, you know, whatever. And then they take the path. I mean, I'm just speculating here. But man, you got to admit that that is some crazy information, right? If that's real, if that really is his account. It does say male 21 and right in the area here. Okay, so that part's known. But obviously there was somebody else that knew that it was his and posted it somewhere, so we're just basing it on that. But man, if you look at that, you can't ignore you just can't ignore it. Just one more time. So that makes these other ones more interesting too. What time is this one? Let's take a look at some of these other ones. So this one here is at 12:33. Right? So that means that right before he is seen on the Ring doorbell camera outside with the dog, he is posting at 12. Well, that one's okay. This one, hold on, let me go there. Actually, this one, yeah, it'd be 12:33. and he's saying camera, and he's a male, 21, don't show it to anybody. People shouldn't see it. Well, thanks, Danielle. Yeah, this is nuts. What do you guys think? I think this absolutely, if it is his account, absolutely is related. 100%. Especially now that we, for some reason I didn't notice that it said PST on it. It's actually 2:15 in the morning when he posts Oso Bay hiking trail. So this to me, it's like, I mean, he's making a post. So it's almost like he's saying, hey, does anybody want to meet at the Oso Bay hiking trail? And perhaps somebody he's already met with before. And it's a male looking for anybody. So I guess it could be anybody on the other end of this. And you say Oso Bay hiking trail, which is 1.7 miles from his house. And then maybe somebody he'd already met sent him a DM and said, yeah, I'll pick you up. Or I don't know. I don't know how it works over there. Can somebody give you a little wink or something and then you can go DM without... I mean, there's 5 up arrows here. Does it say who's up arrowing these? And there was one response, but it's somebody that was just 2 days ago. Yeah, it's Oso Bay hiking trail, yeah. I just showed you on the map. Yeah, it's warm outside, Stephen. So it's just not a big, it was like 70-something degrees. It's just kind of cool, you know. I used to have friends, when I was in college, guys would not wear shoes all the time, just total barefoot, walking around, like the surfer types, you know. He's kind of like that, right? A little bit surfery, just walking around, barefoot. You know, he's just going to get a ride somewhere, have some fun, get a ride back, you know. That's probably what he was thinking. Maybe like a little Tinder-y. You know, just going to get picked up. We'll go hang out at the reserve, and I'll give you a ride back, and then you just kind of walk in, you know. It might not have been where he was going to go there and, like, look at right here in this picture. Wouldn't you just pull over somewhere here and just do whatever you're going to go do? And then you just drive back home, drop off, and you walk back in? Now, when I was in college, the neon colors were a big deal. Like green, neon green, you know. You get really tan and shit, and then wear the neon green shorts, and yeah. Maybe that's the new info. They wouldn't say his dad was on Kassenbader. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I don't watch other channels, so. Let's see. Yeah, probably just smoking a J. What time were the Snapchat pictures and Uber Eats? Well, the Snapchat, again, there was one at 2:44. There was a video to his sister. And then 3:03, he sent a Snapchat to a friend in San Antonio. But just remember, though, at 2:15 or so is when he put that message on Reddit. So did somebody respond to him at this 2:58 time frame here, where his phone seemed to turn off or die or something? I mean, who knows, man? I don't know what's going on there, but you have to say, see, before we even were reading this stuff, I said it on even other shows, that whatever happened to him is the reason that he left at 3:03. The reason that he's outside at 3:03 taking a picture of the bridge, whatever got him to go outside after dropping the dog off. I mean, why wouldn't you just continue to walk around with the dog and then go back in? Unless you were planning on going somewhere. I mean, so why would you be walking the dog, bring the dog back up so then you could go back outside and start walking around again? You were already walking the dog at 2:44, and then you took your time to go up and drop the dog off so that you can have a really peaceful texting time. I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense. So for me, it really comes down to the reason he's outside at 3:03 is the reason is exactly what happened to him. Whatever it was that got him there to go outside is likely responsible for what happened to him. And that's just my opinion based on the limited information we have. Law enforcement might have something different and it wouldn't relate to that, but I'm just going off of what we have. Yeah, I think the meetup sounds absolutely what happened. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the first nights. 0 PayPals in there tonight. Man, you guys. I'm going to start crying. See you guys later. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think this is like a Craigslist, Snapchat, you know, like it's crazy. Like a Snapchat. What's what blue section? It's just me highlighting something on the screen. Yeah. What proof do you have that this is his account, please? I don't have any. I've told you that 15 times, Wild Wyatt. It's just that there's people that say this is his account. It's a male that's 21 years old and lives right there, and they're saying it's him. And the timing actually works too, doesn't it? Like he's out and about. So I don't have any proof. I don't know where the person who realized it, but I do know that there's people out there that can find that kind of stuff. I have one of my friends on out there on social media. Actually, he's the one that gave me that site that I was able to find the Telegram for Stearns. That guy's been able to find all kinds of the usernames, etc., for various cases. He knows what he's doing. So maybe I actually had him. I'm trying to see if he can help out on this one now, because this one just turned into something totally different here. Yeah, it was just on like a group in a group somewhere. Makes sense though. Hey, Andrew, why do you care so much, man? I listen. Everybody that calls into the channel, I really appreciate it. I don't like when people in the chat say, let's move along, let's move along. I can't stand that shit because you didn't have the guts to call in. So instead of bitching at the callers that call in, why don't you call in sometime? And then you can see what it feels like when people go, oh, what a... You know, the thing is I don't allow people to do that. The moderators delete all your comments like that. It's ridiculous. Who cares that her fire alarm chirped a little bit? Who gives a shit? She was interesting. She had interesting things to say. Go complain somewhere else, because we have no time for that in the gray zone. There you go. Well, yeah, no, it didn't really ping there. We've gone over the William Street thing 1,000 times. They don't believe that it's an accurate placement of the ping, so we just don't even... We know that his phone was still active at 3:12. Okay? That's it. Thank you, Jill Downey. This is really big. I hope the police have... Well, of course they have the information. I mean, if we have it, they've already got it. And I like I said before, I can't prove that that's his account. I don't have any way to do it. I just thought, this is interesting enough that even though it's speculation, I don't have a way to prove it. But what does it mean if it is, right? And it's like, God, look at this. It's right there. Yeah, let's see. Thank you, Pretty Eyes. TLN4L. Gliblimborl. Hey, you guys, I've looked at I know I suck at the acronyms or the abbreviations. Can somebody help me out with that one? I'm in gray area, not the gray zone. That's true. I like to call it the gray zone, though. Gray area doesn't sound cool. You're in the gray area. Oh, where's that? Yeah, we love all our callers and appreciate them. Right, exactly. I mean, there's callers that hell I don't like sometimes, but they're still gonna be on the call. I just don't like when people in the chat start dissing on them, right? Like I don't like what they're saying, or sometimes we get the troll types that call in. And there's something, sometimes I'm arguing with somebody, but I don't really, it's just kind of the way it is, right? I mean, if you don't agree, you're supposed to just sit there and go, yeah. The hostile zone. Yeah, maybe that'd be a better name. I like the gray zone, It's kind of like, gray area is pretty good too, because it's sort of, that's the term for, we're not really sure what this, it's the gray area. Does it mean this? Yeah, maybe it should be one word. Yeah. I'll think about that one. Steven. When is 50 Shades of Grey episode? I won't be doing that one. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll notify all of you on Reddit. It's going to say M4F. And then it's going to say, what else? Yeah. Back in the gray zone. What does that mean? Grizzled old man for ladies? No, we have and need opinions. Yeah, I mean, to say that I have to, every time a caller calls in, I have to be really nice and listen to everything they say so carefully and everything. Sometimes I just know, like, they're just full of crap, So I don't have to do anything. Most of the time, like, every caller we've had the last 3 or 4 days has been great, right? But every once in a while, there's a weirdo. I just don't want you guys in the chat to be bashing them at all, right? It's rude. I mean, sometimes we've even had really awesome people call in and you guys say rude shit. Some of you. I mean, obviously, a lot of you don't do that. I remember one time 8675309 called in and there's people going, get this lady out. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's awesome. I mean, I actually talked to her on the side just to, we were just talking about a case or any, just weird shit, whatever, and it's like, I like it when she calls in, but when people make those weird comments, who the hell wants to call in again? Now, if they don't want to call in because they thought I was mean, well, that's different, see you later. But I definitely don't need a double whammy in the... Yeah, like people like Rebecca last night, especially if they think Katie and Chris are the killers of Sebastian. I don't think they are at all. And if you just got here late, I've communicated with Chris Proudfoot, many times on Facebook in the last couple of days, and we talked on the phone for a bit. And I don't see any way in hell this guy has something to do with it. Now, if it does, then I'll have to at some point, if some weird information comes in, I'll have to rethink how my brain works in looking at somebody. But I don't see it at all. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I liked her anyways because it was a good conversation. But I'm saying people that really like, yeah, that was great, it's because they think that the Proudfoots have something to do with it. Isn't that true? Come on, let's be honest. That's not true, Gray. We just like the way she held her own and had... Okay, there you go. That's good enough. You bastard. What do you mean you love them, Veruca Salt? Man, you make some weird-ass comments. I want it now, Daddy. Yeah, well, the great part about the troll call that called in, see, this is a person that would call endlessly with an anonymous number. But I figured out a way to block them. So when I unblocked, then I blocked it again, he forgot that he was using his actual phone number. And then when doing a reverse phone number lookup, it led right to a person that we already had as the real Cornet user who is responsible for all of the online trolling and hate groups associated with me. He's responsible for all of them and has multiple fake accounts, says the same thing on all of them, have them all scoped out and dialed in, and this guy is an online stalker. He's actually been arrested and charged with online, or just stalking in general, not online stalking. And, the police are aware of him again over there. I'd hate to have it get to a bigger deal, Let's see. Sharon Gornick said, Gray, some people always have something to say, but little to contribute. That is true. There are people like that. The explicit photos on the account have the same bracelet he was wearing in other photos. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I tried clicking on one of them, but then I felt kind of weird. Like, I don't want to be looking at that stuff, But they're his pictures, right? I guess that's a good way to prove something, but that is interesting, if that's true. Yes, this one says that the explicit photos on the account have the same bracelet he was wearing in other photos. Yeah, you clicked on... Did you see the bracelet that they're talking about? I'm sure you did, Zozo. I'm sure you did. Yeah. So you didn't see the bracelet? You weren't looking for one either, though, right? Maybe check it out. Maybe look at him a second time? Yeah. Make me curious to look now, but not my business. Yeah, this is more like an investigative angle here, though. I think this is really something. What do you guys think? Let's do a poll here. We'll get the 20% troll answers, but I'll couch it with if this account is real. Is the all right, here we go. Sorry for any grammatical errors. Get your magnifying. What's wrong with being a hunter, Maria? I think hunting is absolutely great. Yeah. I mean, human beings aren't meant to be eating vegetables only. That's why we have incisor teeth, for eating meat. And people that go out and hunt for their food, I absolutely admire. I'm not a big fan of the sort of the trophy hunting only people. Like they go out just to kill, to get a thing of horns on their, but if you're out there hunting for your meat for your family, who gives a shit? Why do you care? Right, Wendy, right. That wasn't the point. That's boring to say it that way, Wendy. Hey, everybody, we're omnivores. I want to say we've got incisor teeth for ripping meat. No, I wasn't. Eustace Shrike. I wasn't. But I have worked for... Okay, I'll tell you my story again. Here we go. For the people out there, this is how I got into what I'm doing right now. I've always been into listening to, watching true crime like Bill Curtis and all those guys, right? And then Forensic Files, whatever. Everybody watched those things. But that, that's just, it was interesting. And everybody watches trials and everything. But I remember in 2013, which is 11 years ago now, I was, first before that, I struggled around trying to figure out where my niche in the world it was. And then I went to the Art Institute in like 2002 for animation and media arts. And I went there for, I think it was 2 years, to get a degree in animation and media arts. But I had learned enough, so I left. I was on the dean's list and everything. Finally, something that I was interested in to get good grades. So then I quit that and went and started my own like videography company. But I'm not really good at marketing, as you guys obviously can tell. And so that kind of didn't do well, but I was really good at making the videos for people, usually for weddings and things like that. But, then during that time, like 2007, I started doing more like IT. I learned how to program in Python and started using that. And then in 2013, I was watching the Jodi Arias trial, and I realized that, hey, I have the skills to model the entire... I'll tell you this right now. If the Jodi Arias trial was right now, I would be on HLN. I would have been on HLN or Court TV or whatever it is every single day of the entire thing because of the model that I made. I made a 3D model of the bathroom that was absolutely realistic looking, with even the same tiles on the floor, with blood spatter on. I mean, it was crazy. It was like perfect. And then I would use that to show where all the photographs that were in that trial were taken, and everybody absolutely understood everything. It was clear as hell the way I was doing it. HLM kept doing this stuff like, oh, look at right over here. We got people in our studio now. We thinking it was just all garbage, at the time. It was weird. I mean, it wasn't garbage. It just wasn't anywhere near what I was doing, and it was frustrating to not have anybody out there say anything or reach out and say, hey, could we probably use that or what? Hey, thanks, Lanky Tor. Lanky Tor knows. Lanky Tor is a big fan of my Jodi Arias stuff. And then when I was making these models, this guy reached out to me who was an elevator expert. And he said, hey, I saw your videos on YouTube, and I spoke to a prosecutor. There's a case in New York where this lady got onto an elevator, and the elevator started moving, and her leg was stuck out, and it almost ripped her leg off. And they're going to do a case up there of assault, like negligence. And they want to have you make a 3D model of the entire scene. So they gave me the surveillance footage, but it's only 1 frame a second. That's why they need to have an animation. So I made a great animation where I started off with humans, them moving, and then switched over to 3D characters. They walk, the mother walks onto the elevator, it goes up, her leg stuck out, and it drags her leg up 8 floors, and it was awesome. And they used that at trial, and the prosecutor won the case, and the jury said, yeah, that video really showed us. He got like 2 years in prison because the guy was so negligent, it was crazy. removed the protection that an elevator cannot be moving with the door open to do something, and he turned them off for all the elevators, and many people just got lucky as hell. Like, you'd see the door open, and you see the elevator going up with the door open. So I did that one, and then they got me for another case where somebody fell off a roof. I made the entire animation, got paid for it, but that never went to trial. And then I did a whole bunch of different works for PIs on different cases. Built a 3D model in the Jonathan Cruz case of the entire house, and that was pretty useful. And so then I knew I was pretty good at that. And then like 2013, I would put out videos on the McStay case, 14, 15, just various cases. And then like in 2017, when the Delphi case, I started making videos on the Delphi case and really putting out some stuff that law enforcement, was interested in. They actually contacted me, Robert Ives. He said, "Hey, man, this is good stuff. If we arrest somebody, we might hire you to make us some exhibits." So that was a neat feeling, but then that was also when Kanika Jenkins, about a little bit after that, came out, so I did that for a long time, doing the surveillance footage. And I think the main thing is I've covered thousands of cases on this channel. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration. I would say half my videos are private right now, because I wasn't sure, what kind of guideline, I don't know what YouTube has, so a lot of times I just make them private, but I have like 3,500 videos, and some nights I would cover 5-6 cases, and when you're done doing all of those, you realize that you really get a better sense of what's going on and how to look at cases. And I mean, I've actually had some detectives email me and say, "Man, you really, without even, like, they were even aware of the case, and they said, with having very little information, you were able to discern almost exactly what happened." So that's when I was thinking, okay, I must kind of know what I'm doing, And I've been on Court TV, and not to say like, oh, you've been on Court. Well, Court TV, it started back up like 3 years ago or so, and I've been on there for 4 or 5 different cases. 5, I think. Naomi Arion, I was on there. I showed him the shadow research stuff that I did that showed when that car was driving by. Absolutely turned out to be true. I was on there for Brightigan, Delphi, Idaho 4, and Sebastian Rogers. So that sort of makes me like a Swiss Army knife of true crime. I'm not some random, just this is the case that I do, and therefore I'm on a TV show. There's like a whole bunch of cases, and I literally have covered thousands of cases on here. And that's why you get the patterns in your mind when you're talking about it. Yeah, I am proud of it. I mean, I don't know how long, how many times, but it's, what I feel kind of cool about it, sometimes they go, "Greg, can we get you on the show tonight?" Because maybe they were supposed to try to find somebody else, but like I step right in and, I'm able to do it. And they like it, they always say, "Man, I don't know. They say really positive things off the air. So I just don't know what I look like myself because I'm looking at myself. That's it. I don't know what I'm like. So, anyways, I guess that's that's the story. Usti Shrike, I just gave it to you. That's about it. Oh yeah, so what do we got up there? Yes, so look at that. Look at that. 85% say yes. If this account is real, is the post related to the disappearance of Caleb Harris? I think it absolutely has to be. Yeah, I mean, I could get way more detailed in there. The Jonathan Cruz case was pretty interesting. That's the one with, what's her name? The private investigator. Nah, been so long now. Usti Shrike. What did I say? Eustace Shrike. I thought I said that. Didn't I say Eustace Shrike? Or no, it's Eustace Shrike. You have to say it like that, or I thought I said Eustace Shrike. Maybe that's like Eustace shouldn't be by itself. It should be Eustace Shrike, right? Great, you not only learned how to do it, but you also have a natural talent too. Well, thanks. I think I've always been intuitive, whatever that means. It's not a psychic ability or anything, but I've always been intuitive. My whole life, like I can just see what somebody's feeling, or that kind of thing. Like I sense stuff, and so I think that helps in this genre quite a bit. That's why I should actually switch over to doing more of this type of work. Gilligan, little buddy, step back, stupid man. Match it. There you go. See? Yeah, and here's the thing is I can put stuff together. Like a lot of you guys, there's a lot of people that help out. Send me stuff. Zozo behind, like I would say on Facebook and everything, is one of the few people that literally tries to work through stuff with me. But she'll find stuff, and then I kind of just have this way of putting it together where it makes sense on the whole picture. So I'm sort of if I was in law enforcement, I think I'd be the guy that would be sitting there and everybody starts bringing me stuff. And I start going, oh, wow, okay, so look at, maybe that fits with here, and you kind of just move around, and then by the time you're done, you've got a nice little theory and a mosaic of information. I don't know, there was something on them earlier, I don't know. I think tomorrow I'll probably do something on the two missing women. I think we need to get circle back to that one a little bit. I have to still build that org chart, even though I have it all the information sitting there. Well, let's see. I did have something. Let me see. Let's see what this says right here.
Evan Abby, that's right. And as you just mentioned, this case has really captured the attention
thanks,
of so
Lanky
many people
Tor.
all over the nation.
Thanks, Lanky Tor, for helping out after the bell, as it were. As soon as the Texas Echo Search goal was reached, it went.
The two missing women have been gone since Saturday, and now OSBI says this case is their primary focus.
It's our number one priority right now for our agents to find these women as quickly as they possibly can.
Time is of the essence for OSBI as they continue their investigation into the suspicious disappearance of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly.
As the days and the hours go by, it becomes more and more challenging and more difficult.
Law enforcement says Butler...
I'm not a big fan of that spokesperson, by the way. He's just, nothing coming out of that.
Butler was traveling from Kansas to Texas County in the Panhandle to pick...
And by the way, anytime you have a case with a spokesperson, you're not going to hear a damn thing. That's why it's so great that Grady Judd doesn't have a spokesperson. But whenever there's a spokesperson, that means there's somebody trained to tell you absolutely nothing but make you think you heard something.
Pick up her children. Kelly was in the car
Ain't
with
that the truth, right? I just said right there. Can I get an amen?
But the two never showed up. A sheriff's deputy found their truck in a rural area of Texas County on Saturday. The two women nowhere to be found.
Not a lot of buildings, not a lot of homes, no cameras. It's made it extremely challenging, but that's why we stress again that if you know something, please say something and please reach out to us.
On Wednesday, OSBI said they found evidence pointing to foul play in the abandoned vehicle.
Yeah, every single, so it's not just the current person in the White House press secretary isn't great, okay? But every single White House press secretary gets up there and never really gives you anything to dig into in the questioning and answering portion. They always have, well, yes, you need to speak to that department. Yeah, that's a question for so-and-so that you'll never get to ask. Well, that's a, it just goes on and on. Yeah, she is terrible. I mean, absolutely god-awful. Yeah.
The evidence that was in the vehicle, what was around the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle, all of that is still under investigation at this time.
This case gaining national attention on social media, people sharing their thoughts,
right.
And OS.
Like, we were pretty much the first people to be talking about this on social media, but just like every other case, people start jumping in, all the wackos, and then you start wondering, should I even touch this now? Yeah, let's see. It says foul play is suspected in the disappearance of 2 Kansas women. Apparently there might be blood, and somebody else has said there was a bloody knife, but who knows? I think the blood is accurate. Veronica Butler, 27, and Jillian Kelly, 39, of Hugoton, Kansas. Ron Pexa! We're driving. It would be weird if Ron Pexa just tuned in, just randomly. But he wasn't even using his name, and he heard that, he'd just be like, what? Where the hell are you coming up with that? You're a psychic. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Veronica Butler, 27, and Jillian Kelly, 39, of Hugoton, Kansas, were driving to Oklahoma to pick up Butler's children. See, now it sounds like a different story, to attend a March 30th birthday party. Okay, so... all right, I thought we were talking about picking them up for a scheduled day of, like your custody. You got to pick them up and you needed to have a supervisor. But now it doesn't sound like that at all. It just sounds like a friend that was driving with her and, came there for moral support perhaps to pick up the children from somebody. But, right, it doesn't sound like it's the same. It's his name. If you just let's get back to this in a second. But we gotta. What the hell's going on? Let's see what happens if you type in Ron Pexa. Does he show up somewhere? Does it have 2 X's in it? Does it have 2 X's in it or not? I mean, I can't remember. Maybe I type in Ronald. Here, let me try something on Ben Verified. Hold on a second. Now, there can't be more than one of those. I mean, that's just... There's just one? Oh, okay, so there was another one in there. Let's see. Ronald Pexa. And that would have been... What? That was Texas, right? Wasn't that Texas? Tell me if that's not right. Isn't that where the Tibbetts case was? Iowa. Okay, that's true. That's right. Let's see. Oh, there he is. There's just one. 69 years old. Does that sound about right? Yeah, let me look up. No, doesn't have anything under the criminal side. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Yeah, he was an old guy. So that's him, but he doesn't have any negative anything. So Ron, we love you, buddy. We love you, man. Don't know what you're about, but we every once in a while we say Ron Pexa. It almost seems like a boxer name, right? And in this corner, it's Jim Sampson. He's a southpaw from Indiana, weighing in at 197 pounds, small as hell. In the other corner is Ron Pexa, 250-pound right-handed slugger who'll smash your face into oblivion. All right, there you go. All right. That's what I want to do to you, Gray. Right, Cornet. Right, Cornet. Freaking psycho. Jesus. Where is this? We'll get down to here. I don't know what Gray's talking about. I'm leaving, you bastard. Well, too bad, man. Maybe hang out a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not fun to explain every single inside joke, you know, all day long, just spending time. He's just some guy that was named in a trial, some dude standing around. He had nothing to do with anything, but it was just a great name. So we remembered it. That's all it comes down to. Hunter McKee, an Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation spokesperson, there he is, said investigators believe foul play led to women's disappearance based on what was found at the based on what was found their vehicle. You mean in their vehicle. McKee declined to say what evidence was found in the vehicle, citing the continuing investigation. Singer did not immediately return phone calls for comment Friday morning. I'm going to try to read this like a newscaster, okay? McKee said the abandoned vehicle was found by Texas County deputies and referred additional questions to Texas County Sheriff Matt Boley, who did not immediately return a phone call for comment. There you go. The sheriff's office turned the investigation over to the OSBI. We're still looking into where and when they were last seen. McKee said no children are missing. Investigators are searching the area in Texas around where the vehicle was found, according to McKee, about 11 miles south of Elkhart, Kansas, on the Oklahoma-Kansas state line. The area is about 260 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Yeah. So here's the area right here. What about San Diego? I don't get it. Yeah, so apparently the car was like right around in this area right here. It's just on the side of the road. Apparently there was maybe like blood in it. But the whole story is different now, right? Remember it was kind of like a CPS deal where you had a supervisor and she had a scheduled pickup. But it doesn't sound like that at all. It sounds like, oh, it was just a friend driving with her and she was picking up the kids for a birthday party. But again, whoever she was supposed to meet to pick the kids up with, I think has a very good chance of having something to do with why they're missing. And where was that Four Corners? Did I lose that pin? It was right there, right? No, that wasn't it. It was... God, what was it? That's where the vehicle is. Oh, it's down... That's the corner. Even bottom right. See, I already gotten rid of those. See, I thought it was this Four Corners down here, but it's not. It's like 8 miles. I thought it was right down from here. Was that it? That's not Four Corners. Let's see. Not there. I think it was here. Maybe not. No, yes it is. That's right. Watch. Four Corners, suckers. There it is! Boom! Alright. So yeah, it's right here in this little areas. Gray called me a sucker. I'm leaving. There it is. Four Corners. Right there. Alright, so that's the actual meeting place. Apparently, they said... So here's how it all works now. See, before they said Four Corners, and there's a place called Four Corners in Gaiman over here. See? It's there, but they also said Ava. Now, look at this. Ava's right there, and this is Four Corners. So now I'm almost absolutely certain that this is the location they were supposed to pick up the children. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Yeah, just right here in this little town. Yeah, it's also, like Zozo said, the court-appointed appointment location. But they're reporting it differently now. Not like, it doesn't sound like Jillian was this supervisor, or maybe the stories are just told differently because she's a friend and a supervisor. But it sounded like more, the way they were describing it, is she just went along just as a, safety sort of thing. Like she's just coming along. I know she is. We already know that. We've said that. She's court appointed. But they're friends, right? So they're together, and it was to pick them up for a birthday party. Okay, they're wrong. So it is a court appointed thing. And there isn't a... Was she picking him up for the birthday party, though? Yeah, I kind of like the first version seems better, doesn't it? That it's a court-appointed place, a court-appointed supervisor, but they became friends, and that might be a motive for the other party of the custody to be nervous because you're going to be in rehab for 6 months while the other parent is now getting a little more visitation, and they've got an absolute advocate as a friend. They're a supervisor and a friend. So was that the reason they were picking him up, or was that just the court-appointed time, and there just happened to be a birthday party? Did the child ever make it to the birthday? I mean, did they have a birthday party for them anyways, or how did that all work? I'd like to know. It would be interesting to find out is if Veronica was supposed to pick the kids up for a party, did the other party now that has the children, did they have this party all set up and planned easily? Like it was already ready to go. That would be an interesting thing to look up. Like, oh wow, how did you guys have that planned so well when you didn't even think you were going to have the children? Right, but she was going to have them on the party, right? So it would be interesting to see if the family who did have the party for the child had all the gifts and cake and everything ready to go. Don't you think that'd be mildly interesting to know that? Maybe not. Forget it. Yeah. I think that'd be sort of interesting. Like if they just went, like the kids show up, the kids go to this other place and, oh, we got a party, yay! Because they knew that they were going to have a party. They didn't like buy stuff now, like a spur of the moment situation. I think that'd be an interesting lead, as if they already had it planned. They might be able to say, well, we were going to have another party when we got them back. Just kicking the desk. I kind of like these shows like this. It makes you think a lot more about stuff. Yeah. Marigator body was a male and possibly 19. Huh. Well, you guys, we're at 3 hours now, so I think that's the time to chime out. That was a quick 3 hours, though, wasn't it? I thought it was. Well, they're all interesting, right, Lisa? What do you mean, this show? Are you saying that all the rest of them aren't interesting, Lisa? You look nice today, Lisa. What do you mean today, you bastard? Well, never mind. I know, it's crazy. Every one of these cases that are going on, I mean, look how interesting they all are. Riley Strain was interesting. Caleb Harris just got crazy interesting. Sebastian Rogers is interesting. Stefan Rogers case is crazy. These 2 missing women case is crazy. It just goes on and on and on and on. But yes, if you're after the show and you want to help support the channel, maybe be the one person who sent in a PayPal, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. And by the way, when you send in funds, it helps support the channel. And as you can see, we give away a lot of money each month as well, making a massive difference. 15,000 so far this year, when we're just getting started in April. I don't think this month will be like last month, but hopefully it'll be okay. Yep, we did it. Rad story. Thank you for your generosity as well. Thank all of you for your generosity. You guys are awesome. You know, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. All right, so we got the, let's see. Thank you to Linda Dees. Gollin Vern gifted 10 memberships. Very kind, very kind. Paulette Leonard, 8675309. Amber Maiden. Phil, I'm not doing the 5 memberships because we did the donation. And then it was Kubi, Phil, She Sells Seashells. Kami, She Sells Seashells. Upgrade to Oogla Boogla Freak. Awesome. Agatha Misty, as in Agatha Misty, as in Agatha Christie. I think I need to have this up for all of your names, really. Georgina Stoliker. I'm just kidding. That was pretty good. Mama 457 Rose. Heather N. Gummo, as in the food. Michelle H. My Little Cutie. Wise Child. Buttercup 203. Pixie Blue. Phil. Simply Me. Miss Mola. I am anxious for the Delphi trial coverage here. That tragic case is how I first found this channel and subbed. Well, that's cool, Miss Mola. Thank you. Eugenie. Alley Cake. The Broken Scout. Mama 457 Rose. Michelle H. Mad as a cut snake. You get it? A cut snake. Marigator, meaning let's hear it for awesome mods. That's right. Wasn't a ton of mods in there tonight, but I think there's only like 3, maybe 4, maybe at the most. Southern Mom, Alley Cake, Cindy J, then Gullin Vern with a double cat eye, Pancakes, Even Steven, who called in. Oh, it's a different Steven than the other Steven. So there is an Even Steven. He's the one that called in. And then Karen Andrews, 17 months. Timothy Cecil, Nikki Zubs, Broken Scout. Peter Danielle. It's hard to thank everybody while the look at Mama 457 Rose. Yeah, I saw that, Wendy. Thank you. Amelia Lavender. Oh, and Danielle right before that. I think I skipped a whole bunch. Hold on, let me roll up here again. Timothy Cecil, Nikki Zubs, This Broken Scout, Peter Danielle, Amelia Lavender, The Broken Scout with the cat eye, then Yabba Dabba Doo. Yeah, Yabba Dabba Doo, which is, I guess, from Scooby-Doo, right? And Nikki Zubs, Rad Story, K-Me, Mod, Matilda H, Scotty 400, Jane Smith, Rad Story, 8675309. Can we get a Ron Pexa? Ron Pexa! Pexa! Or maybe this one's better.
Ron Pexa!
There we go. Cynthia N. Sharon Gornick. Long time no see. Kit. Danielle again. Then Danielle again. Thank you, Danielle. Jill Downey. Pretty Eyes. T. LN4L GB4L. Lanky Tor gifted 5 memberships. Cheryl. Mama 457 Rose. And Mello became a new member right there at the buzzer. All right. So let's get back to the gray zone. There we go. Having issues with the stream stopping and starting tonight. YouTube is having lots of problems. Well, you know what? I can't even see the analytics on my videos anymore. There's an error, and I had to send in a video again. Show us a video of you. Yeah, I showed you a freaking video. I had to even sign on with incognito mode, and it still doesn't work. It's crazy. And then when I sign on to my other account, the one with the me and Chasing Truths account, I can see the analytics. So it's just on my channel that I can't see them. How crazy is that? What do you mean you can't super chat? What do you mean? Have you tried doing the super thanks instead? Do a super thanks and then follow it up with a comment. And if your super chat doesn't work, what you got to do is sign out and back in again. Yeah, it's like a super sticker, I mean. Try a super sticker. I don't know, sometimes I used to have those problems too. You're trying to send a super chat and then whatever you try to type in, it doesn't let you, but you can do a super sticker. Well, you got to try signing out and back in again. Try that, because a lot of times that's the problem. They just tell me the day of. Sometimes it's sort of inconvenient in a way, because it's like I'm sitting there planning for my show, and then I haven't even done the major, like putting stuff together, and then they're like, hey, can you be on at 5? And then I have to sort of focus in on that to make sure that I have the information correctly. Oh, let's see. Hello, who's this? Is this the troll again? Is this the online troll, the stalker? Yeah, hello, who's this? Who are you? Are you the troll? Are you the online troll? Are you the cornet individual? All right, see you later. Yeah. Yeah. All right, there you go. I don't even know who the hell that was. Yeah, they were cussing, you know. I told you to F off. I'm calling them you F off. Ooh. Idiot. Just losers, you know. Call in again, man. Let's hear what you got to say. Come on, call in again. We're all just, you're so interesting. God, you're interesting. I feel like I spent all day waiting for somebody as interesting as you. Do it again, man. Call in again. Let's hear. What do you got to say? You're so incredibly interesting. That's what I thought. I would, Gray. Let's do it again. Come on, call in again. Let's hear it again. Hello? Oh, okay. You want you to F off. Well, why? Who was I talking to you? What a weirdo. Like, what kind of person calls somebody up to tell them to F off and you weren't even talking to them? You know? It's crazy. So they can't call in with an anonymous number because I unblocked the anonymous number. And they call in with an anonymous number and they don't think you're going to immediately realize that they're a troll. I mean, that's what people do when they're a troll. They call in with an anonymous number. They would never call in with a real number because then you can look them up. Yeah. That's what I thought. Probably one of Cornette's buddies. You know, hey, you call in, okay? We got it all figured out. We're so smart. We got it all figured out. We're disgusting. Yep, sick world we live in. Yeah, it sounded like he was wasted, you know. Absolute psycho. Too drunk, too. Come on, where are you? Come on, troll, call in again. Let's do it. You got it. You're a genius. Go ahead, call in again. Come on, troll, you've got it. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, well, it was for, I sent 500 to Texas Equisearch, Zozo. So, all right. Forget it. Never understand. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Why don't they start their own show and just do their show? Yeah, like do a show and be interesting, and you know, instead they have to call up and get upset when somebody else is doing a show. It's ridiculous. I don't even understand them. Well, you can just F off. Okay, but why? We weren't even having a conversation. What are you talking about? All right. Anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight. I thought it was a great show. Yeah, a lot of interesting. It was kind of cool just working through stuff and kind of like looking at the timing, especially on the Caleb Harris case. Man, that's crazy. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, the phone number thing is turned off now. The phone number's on the screen, but you can't call. I gave him the amount of time, but the gutless wonder didn't call in. Yeah, I mean, who would ever just do that? Think about how weird it is. Like if you're watching somebody online, would you ever just call in and start cussing at them when they weren't talking to you before that? That's weird. That's some weird stuff. Yeah, well, let's if that is an actual account of his, then it's a massive, meaningful piece of information. And I guarantee you that his disappearance is connected to that post on there. Not guarantee, but I would say it's very likely that it's related to that post if that is his account. You're talking about something that happened less than an hour prior, and he's trying to meet up with somebody a mile, 1.7 miles from his house, and 45 minutes later, or not even 45 minutes. Well, I guess it's about 45. Yeah, it's like, well, let me look at it one more time. Hold on. I just want to get the exact. It was, yeah, it's 48 minutes later. So it's 2:15, and then 3:03 is taking a picture at a bridge, and then likely picked up right after that by a person that he said Oso Bay hiking trail. Now watch, you'll see this on various other channels now, and they'll pretend that they came up with all of this on their own. Like, wow, look what I found, you know? Yeah, sure, we found, somebody else came up with the name, but you watch. You know the usual suspects. There won't be anything like, hey, Gray was talking about this. Never happens. Never does. Huh? Different cycle of trolls. You're still around and growing. yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, it's crazy all the trolls that show up. They just seem so angry, though. That's what is sort of freaky, right? It's like, why are you so angry? I don't even know who you are. You get it? It's wild. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for being here. We will talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll, let Vinny know. I'll share with him some of this. Maybe because they haven't been covering too much of the Caleb Harris case, maybe that would be an interesting look at it. Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you very much for being here. We will see you tomorrow. All right? And, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And thank you guys very much for reaching the goal, allowing us to send out 500 tonight to Texas EquiSearch. Very worthy organization. Probably give them some more. This is the Texas EquiSearch month of giving. We'll try to give more to them. But anyways, thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow. And, as I always say, until next time again, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5, and I can't find the... There it is.
And a 6 and a 7 and an 8 and a 9.
Hey, shut up, John Boy. That's my
And
time.
during this whole time, I have not seen one person...
That's not very nice.
That is a crime dissector, a flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector.
I'm gonna get you on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector, fool deflector, interceptor. And I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector with a respector. Just remember, conjecture, I have no agenda. I'm a pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without a blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission
to reveal the true offender.
Yeah, so we'll just get right back to it. What the hell's wrong? Gosh, Mary Lou, you sound like a dying, mauled cat.
That's right, very nice, Gray. I'm gonna call PETA on you, you bastard.
What would PETA do?
They don't like it when you say stuff about cats like that.
Well, they don't care when cats kill birds, do they?
Well, that's what cats do, Gray.
But cats aren't indigenous. You know, that we do have bobcats and mountain lions and so forth, but the ordinary house cat isn't indigenous, so every bird that they kill is one that shouldn't have been killed.
That's a good point. All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. All right. So you guys have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Yee-hoo! And we'll see you the next time in the Gray Zone.